Hello, everybody! Welcome to maybe the D&Dorks thing that I am most excited for ever. Agents of Hades, our 3-episode Halloween superhero horror miniseries. How's everyone doing today?
Yes.
We're doing
I'm
yes.
happy to be back.
Great.
I am hyped as hell, dude.
I am hyped. I'm happy to be back in the player's seat.
Yes. Speaking of,
I am back out.
Yeah, I'm already in the chat. Immediately, we're having a lot of reactions to the character names, none of which I believe have been revealed yet. I don't think any of the character names have been revealed yet, so we're getting some fun stuff in there already. Now, real quick, before we get into the fun stuff, we're going to get into the fun very quick, I promise. But I do have a short list of announcements. Most of them are very fun things, but we got to run through those quick. The first announcement is a very good thing, ultimately, if you've watched the show before. If you're new, honestly, thank your lucky stars that this doesn't mean anything to you. But to the people who have been here for a while, we're not using Skype anymore. Finally, we have changed. We have changed our back-end system. Things are hopefully going to go a lot smoother. But I also do just want to preface, this is the first time we're doing an official episode on a new system. So there might be a little bit of a learning curve to it. We're trying our best. But, I mean, again, if you've watched, like any episode, really, if you've watched any episode of the show before, you know how good this is going to be. But, sort of a part 2 of that announcement, people in chat, please keep an eye out for people's audio levels being out of balance, people's audio being out of sync. That is all stuff I can fix, but because we're using a new system, all those levels have been reset. So I'm sure people's audios are going to be too loud, too quiet, and they will get better as we go, but that is just something that we're going to have to work on. Speaking of audio, we'll go on to announcement 2. If you were here about 2 minutes ago, you heard that we did get a theme song for Agents of Hades. Now, obviously, we're going to credit the artist for that, and I'm realizing I don't have my Twitch other window pulled up so I can actually type in chat. But that song, for anyone who's curious, is called The Saint and the Sinner by AViVA. And I'm going to, again, put that in chat right now so that people can go and look that up. Please check her out. She was super cool about letting us use this, and it's a very good vibe for the campaign, I think. So I've just dropped that name in chat. Again, do go check it out. We're going to be using it for other things over the course of the show. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Now, let's see. A couple more announcements. Again, I'll go fast. Other announcement. Art for this campaign. I want to go ahead and set this up right at the beginning. We actually, hired an artist, a professional artist, to do stuff this time. It's super cool. Wow. Everything looks amazing. Really, Agents of Hades is the most professional D&Dorks has ever been, and I hope this is the status quo from here on. The one minor downside to that is good art does take time to make. So rather than revealing all of the art for everybody this episode, we're going to be revealing it a little bit each time. This is only a 3-episode miniseries, so it's not like you're going to have to wait forever. And also, having cool new art to look forward to every week is a good thing. So we do have plenty today. Don't worry about that. There's lots of fun stuff. And then you'll just get more cool art over the course of every week, which will be good, I hope. As a function of that art, quick mention for our Patreon. If you don't know, we do have a Patreon. You get to watch VODs of episodes early. You get to watch the after shows that we record for every episode. And also, a new thing for Agents of Hades, since we hired a professional artist, concept art for all the characters as their art is revealed is going to be dropped in the Patreon as well. So that's just another fun little bonus thing. And final announcement. I promised you I'd go quick, and I hope I delivered enough on that promise. Merch stuff. Now, technically, I actually didn't mention this to everybody else beforehand, so if you guys want to change this plan last minute, that's totally fine, because I was running on a lot of different things. But my thought for merch is that this week, so up till the 20th, episode 2 of Agents of Hades, is going to be, unless someone else objects, the last chance to get a lot of merch from the Symmetry Saga, because we need to declutter our merch store. So by next week, a lot of the Symmetry Saga merch is going to be sunset. We'll keep some of the most popular stuff, like the glib pants and things, maybe some logos. Those are going to stick around. But this week will be your last chance to get Symmetry Saga merch. Outlaw stuff will say. And then on October 20th, first merch drop for Agents of Hades will happen at the same time. So I believe that huge, chunk of words I just threw at you is all the announcements that we have to do. Does anyone else have anything they want to say? Have anything they want to go over? Or should we go ahead and just get into the fun here?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. I can't wait.
Now, I am going to give us one quick disclaimer, something that I've never said before on this show, but am weirdly kind of excited to say, which is reminding everybody, this is a Halloween show. This is a horror show. Not that this has ever explicitly been for kids before, but, like, there's going to be descriptions of, like, scary stuff and some disturbing imagery, so I am going to go ahead and say, Agents of Hades is not for children. Panda swears too much for it to have ever been, but, you know, I say it as a courtesy. So, now that all the children are gone, I hope, I want to make them a Bim Bam reference, which I say only so the babies out there can know how cool they are for listening.
Call your mom.
Unless you have explicit adult supervision while watching this show, which, congratulations on getting them to sit for 5 hours.
Yeah,
fuck off, honestly.
we can say that. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
We can tell the children to fuck off.
Clarify.
Fair enough. All right, so
This shit is PG-13 at least.
Oh,
At
yeah.
very least.
Always has been.
Oh, I already crossed our one F-bomb. We're past that already.
My mother's in the chat right now, and I think she's horrified. I'm sorry, Mom. It'll be fine, right?
Official D&Dorks.
Still have our F-bomb for this season, so.
No, we don't. We just used it.
Season?
Really? When's that happen?
When did that? Okay, we have to go. We have to start the episode. We've already swear like 4 times and we haven't even begun. All right, so as is sort of tradition with D&D games, I got a couple paragraphs here for you. So let's get into Agents of Hades. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too. Our heroically haunting tale begins in a realm called Urkala, which I will put the spelling of in chat in a second. I know you guys are curious. Don't worry about it. It is the afterlife, or rather one of many afterlives, but one that has the notable distinction of being the first discovered by humans. The ancient Sumerians were the first mortals to inhabit Urkala upon their deaths, but the realm has changed much since then, for better or for worse. However, all of our heroes today are in one way or another new to the realm, and don't know what horror might lie in store for them there. What they do know, however, is the H.A.D.E.S agency. Officially, the H.A.D.E.S agency is a peacekeeping force directed to protecting deceased souls from existential threats across the afterworlds. Many people, however, know it simply as an organization that supports the superheroes of the dead. Why do the dead need superheroes protecting them, you might ask? Well, oh boy! Is that a fun little question, and one that I'm not going to answer quite yet. Despite that very ominous statement, we're going to begin this campaign in a far less scary location, a surprisingly normal-looking waiting room, one in the headquarters of the H.A.D.E.S agency. Oh, we screwed up the name, that's great. The H.A.D.E.S agency, one belonging to the chief administrator of the agency, a demon by the name of Namtar. In this room, we find 3 very unique characters, and with that, we'll go ahead and get right to the cast. Who wants to introduce themselves first?
I can take it.
All right.
My name is Jack Alias. Jack Alias is a peculiar-looking fellow, mostly because he is completely a skeleton, with glowing Sugar Skull. I don't want to call it makeup, but Sugar Skull insignias on his skull. He has a semi-permanent cigarette in his mouth and dresses in a completely not trademarked fashion. He is a sorcerer, and that is the extent that I'm going to explain Jack.
Excellent. Now, I have put the art up on the screen. We are handling art a little bit differently since it's good. If you guys noticed, I put it up real big for you. And now, while characters are spotlighted, we're going to go to this, and we can have it up while they're talking. I will note, this art is not done by the main artist for the campaign, whose link should be going through in the chat, by the way. This one was done by Panda, so credit where credit is due. Panda did do his own character art for this campaign, and it worked so well with the style of the rest of them And also, it means I didn't have to pay for more art, so we just used it. So great job, Panda. Thanks for that.
In my defense, when I drew it, I explicitly asked Matt, hey, does the artist need something? I want to draw my character, so can I send you this thing? It wasn't like, I'm not having my character drawn.
Oh, no, this was a while ago. Yeah. This was
power thing.
It was a while ago. He pitched it to me, and I was like, if I can save myself a little bit of money, awesome. So H.A.D.E.S is our first character, just, I assume, sitting in a chair in this random, unremarkable waiting room, a skeleton man, not saying too much about himself, and, you know, for reasons that I will not go into. Who wants to
tapping
go next?
His foot, which sounds very funny, by the way. He is sitting there very impatiently tapping his heel, which does sound exactly how you think a skeleton tapping his heel sounds like.
I didn't give you guys an order. Who wants to go next?
No, we didn't. I can go.
All right.
I can go. So we're just in this waiting room?
Just in a waiting room. Unremarkable. The only thing you might notice is the lights don't look like they would in the realm of the living. They look a little bit different, but otherwise you could mistake it for a waiting room in the real world.
So, sitting in a chair nearby is a man by the name of H.A.D.E.S. H.A.D.E.S is dressed in full Greek armor. Got the chest plate, the legs are kind of more free, but he's sitting in like an office chair, so he's got like his circular shield kind of like awkwardly in front of him with his hands on it, and like his sword at his side. He's just kind of waiting. He was told to take a seat, so he did. And he is I don't know, how much information do I want to reveal about? Are we given like just the elevator pitch of who they are?
That is entirely up to you right
now. H.A.D.E.S was born in ancient Greece as a demigod to the goddess Athena, who is the goddess of wisdom and battle strategy. And mechanically, I am playing a cleric of the war domain.
Now, Nathan has said something interesting there that I do just want to touch on real quick. Nathan has mentioned that H.A.D.E.S was born in ancient Greece. This campaign takes place around 2035. So, for him being an ancient Greek, he's been dead for a bit. And I won't say anything else to that point, but it is worth mentioning.
And I took a brief hiatus post-death for personal reasons that we won't get into right now. But now I am ready to get back on the saddle, and I hear the agents of Hades are hiring.
Yes, the superheroes of the underworld are always looking for powered recruits that they can use to add to their ranks. I think I'm gonna force the order a little bit here, because I think from that a really good contrast would be Momo. So Momo, if you don't mind, go ahead.
See a small little black and green kobold on a chair. He's in heavy armor, and he's swinging his feet, and then he looks around, hops off of his chair, opens up, brings up this contraption that I guess a lot of people here won't recognize, and it's a rolly backpack. Unzips it and starts to take out a bunch of shit like ball bearings, pencils, paper, digging through this thing, body like half dangling out of it, and pulls out a juice box and sits back down and starts sipping away at it. This is Lord Cringe, and he is a paladin of the Oath Cringe variety.
Oath Cringe.
If you've never heard of Oath Cringe before, which I'm pretty sure at least most of you haven't, that's because we did make it up. And by we, I mean Momo. This was entirely Momo's fault.
I made a whole stat block for Oath of Cringe Paladin.
Yep. Now again, we will have art for Lord Cringe next week. Again, like I said, we're going to be slow burning it, but I will say, and Momo can back me up here, the concept art for Lord Cringe is done, and it's great.
I love it.
It's great. The art is so good, guys. You're not going to believe it. So, these three figures, a skeleton man, an ancient Greek warrior, and just kind of a little lizard kid, I guess, are the only people in this room. There is two doors on either side. There is the door that leads out into the hallway and the rest of the HQ, and then there is a slightly fancier door, presumably that leads into Namtar's office. Now, you can hear some sounds if you listen in, sort of muffled, as if the person behind the door is trying to keep whatever he is talking about on the down low. But everyone who's there, go ahead and give me a perception check really quick.
Perception.
None of us have even fucking talked, my guy.
I know.
First roll.
Oh, I know.
Here we go. Where's my
It's a
perception?
14.
Wow. That is a 9.
14, 9.
Give me half a goddamn second. Apparently, I had the wrong character sheet pulled up.
And Glib makes his appearance in Agents of
And
Hades.
Glib makes his appearance. 15.
Okay, the 14 and the 15. You guys can hear whatever is being said there. It doesn't sound good. You hear the sense of someone trying to manage a problem that is far beyond what they would normally be doing on this day. And also, it's worth noting, whoever's appointment would be first, which I never actually specified, but let's say that we did it in the order of character introduction. So, Jack, the time of your appointment has ticked down a little bit. It is getting very, very, a little bit past when your scheduled appointment time was. But for what that's worth, before you can think to act on that in any way, you hear some very heavy and very angry sounding footsteps from the other door.
And just then, a green foot breaks open the door. And in walks a very upset-looking, large green man with black eyes and yellow pupils. He is dressed also in what seems to be Greek accoutrement. He has a big bronze crown-looking thing on his head, and he walks in. To what worthless maroon must I speak to gain an audience with whomever is in charge of this eternal testament to mediocrity? He notices the receptionist's desk, assuming there is one, and walks over. I presume it's this, but allow me to introduce myself to the room, as it's clear none of you rubes received my credentials. I am Somakitaro, son of Ares. Born in the shadow of the god of war, I carved my own name in blood through every possible region of the known world. In life, I was the greatest and most prolific conqueror Greece had ever seen. In life, I magnetically gathered followers of warriors to my side. In life, I mangled bodies common, governmental, and personal in the names of death and conquest. And yet in death, I am reduced to this? Irkala? He's right in the receptionist's face. The cosmological definition of complacent inferiority? There has been a grievous mistake, and as such, your manager must speak to me.
The receptionist kind of looks up at you with notable fear in their eyes and just sort of goes, at which point you realize this might be some sort of thrall or minion that maybe has some idea of what you're saying. However, I do think at least one other person in the room might have picked up on something from that very loud speech that you just gave.
H.A.D.E.S stands up and goes, "Oh my gods. To what do I owe the unfortunate displeasure of such a Quisquillian, flagitious tyrant stepping into the Agents of Hades? What are you doing here?"
A smile creeps across Somakitaro's face. Oh, cousin, the golden boy. What, did the moral path lead you to the exact same place as I?
My moral path actually led me to the fields of Elysium. Unlike you seem quite displeased, Soma. Where did you end up? Surely you died. Surely the nefarious, infamous, vicious conqueror Soma Kitoro died a hero? No, that can't be right.
I had a vision beyond Elysium neither of us could have conceived of. And clearly there has been a clerical error because thousands of years ago I did in fact land here, in Irkala. And after thousands of years of stasis out of protest, I have decided to figure out what exactly the fuck went on. Why the heck? And what brings you to this tower?
I've decided I haven't done quite enough heroing.
What?
Goes over to like the ticket counter, takes out a ticket, and goes over to Soma and like tugs on his clothing.
Excuse me, sir.
What?
Everyone needs to have a ticket. Everyone has to wait in line. It doesn't really matter how you died or when you died, but you have to have a ticket. Here you go.
Take a seat, champ.
They're right, you know. I hold up my
I'm
ticket.
going to ignore that thing just spoke to me. I need no ticket. I am Soma Kitaro, the greatest conqueror the world has ever seen.
Oh, brother.
Whatever poor excuse for a god runs this place would be, frankly, honored to speak with me. I need no ticket, I need no appointment, and I need no lizard thing nagging me from my ankles. Shoo!
You do, however, need a seat. It's gonna be a while, but
Because
I
even
think-
if you don't have a ticket, you still need to wait in line and also have a ticket. So it would really behoove you to accept the ticket I'm handing you right now.
Am I being lectured by monsters?
You are being lectured by citizens, Soma, whose value in life are just as important as yours. I know that's a struggle for you to wrap your brain around.
If I
debatable.
didn't know that the gods love to put shit in red tape and violence would surely mean I wasn't getting an appointment, you would be smited by my hand.
Very well. I personally would find more interest in talking with the shit from my chariot horse. So how about we all just take a seat and wait our turn?
Oh, careful, you might burn your tongue with such coarse language. What are you holding?
I am trying to hand you your ticket. You still haven't accepted it.
I am not accepting anything from whatever you are with your little weird chariot thing you're pulling. What are you, a horse?
Pack, sir.
Say again?
It's a backpack. It's a roller backpack. It's so you don't have to carry it on your back or your shoulders. You carry it around behind you. It is most convenient for most circumstances.
If
although
I take that
inconvenient for
ticket, will
others.
you stop talking to me?
I cannot promise I won't continue to do what I'm doing if it means better informing the people around me.
he won't. Sorry.
Okay, seriously. I can understand the little lizard boy, but what is the skeleton man doing? What is
Waiting.
For a long time, clearly, your skin's come off.
Obviously not as long as you, champ.
Everyone is here. It's very fucking funny, aren't they? And
Other
so
than
the
you,
girl-
I mean,
I love everyone already. I love everyone already. Let me remind the audience that I knew everybody's concept, but like, that's it. So this is as much a pleasant surprise to me as it is to all of you.
I kneel down to this lizard, and I go, "What is your name?"
Dressed as cringe.
Lord Cringe.
Yes.
Well, I greatly appreciate you devoting your life to spreading good information. Knowledge is in fact power, and power is everything. I like you, Lord Cringe.
you'll learn.
What's that about?
That is a rude thing to say.
What's all that about? This is a child of some sort.
I am the chosen of the concept of cringe. It would behoove you to respect my authority.
And respect
Right.
I do.
But not this one here. He thinks just because he's bone and no skin, he can talk to me however he likes.
Listen, I'm just trying to collect my $200 and pass go, alright? Just don't involve me in this, please.
What is that a reference to?
Yeah, 200 what?
Dollars?
To
Right.
this ancient game called about capitalism called Monopoly.
The fuck's a
Monopoly.
capitalism?
That is entirely wrong.
It's like they're making new
You know what,
gods
it's not
every
my
day.
problem.
I want to let this conversation go on for just the rest of like the 4 hours, if I'm being entirely honest. But I'm gonna terrify everybody. Make a Constitution save.
Oh,
Also,
Hey.
while you're doing that, Momo, your audio is cutting out at the beginning of sentences sometimes. I don't know if that's a
Yes.
noise suppression
I think
thing.
you need to lower. I think you need
Yeah,
to lower your
I-
noise
I
suppression.
think lower the noise suppression, and that will hopefully fix it.
I have no noise suppression on my settings, so
If you go
let's see.
settings, voice and video,
Mhm.
there's like a voice sensitivity. Try lowering that.
How about that?
it's
Is
not-
that, is that better?
It only
We-
happens
we
at
don't
like
know
the
at
beginning
time.
of sentences, so we'll let you know.
Hey,
Okay.
for once, I didn't dump Khan, okay?
Good, good, good.
Neither did
For
I.
once.
I learned.
Everyone's learned.
I have a +1 in Khan.
Oh boy.
And I got a 7.
A 7. Okay.
Is it a Constitution save?
Constitution save. Yes.
I got a 10.
A 10.
Everyone in my vicinity gets a +3 to save because of my aura of protection.
Nice.
It's anyone in 10 feet of me.
Okay, we
So I
can
guess-
reasonably assume everyone is within 10 feet.
I get a 10.
13.
Okay. We get an extra 10?
Oh,
No,
extra
you get a
three.
plus 3. Plus 3.
Extra 3. Okay, I got a 15 then.
Okay.
I believe I can't tell if it's already incorporated into my saves. If it's
I have no
not,
idea.
I got a 14. If it is, I got
Either,
a 7.
either way it works. A 14 is good enough for this. So,
Okay.
while none of you are going to take any damage from this, in the midst of this conversation, all of you, out of the blue, are suddenly overcome with splitting headaches, just instantaneously.
Ugh.
Akira!
Leave me alone!
What?
I don't even have a brain. This doesn't. Okay.
My brain is my best asset. This is...
After a couple seconds of this, you see the door to the office that you're all waiting to go in open, and a strange figure kind of awkwardly shuffle out. At first, he seems like a short man, but a relatively normal man. He's wearing a suit, and you would not be able to distinguish him from a normal human were it not for two features. Number one, his gray skin, and number two, the fact that his scalp and his whole head above his eyes is exposed bone. It seems like his skull is fully visible with large curling horns coming off the sides, and notably, a network of large cracks running directly across the bone. Now, I won't make you roll for this. For the discerning, you might recognize that this is in fact Namtar, Demon of Headaches, and the guy that you are all in one way or another here to see. I'm also
We're
going to go
literally
ahead.
waiting in the team for that.
I'm also going to go ahead and point out all the characters in this are actually like mythology characters. They're modified, of course, but like this is all pulled from real stuff. I'm going to do a whole mythology lecture episode on the Patreon later. There's a lot of fun stuff in here. But regardless of that, we'll get to that later. This short little man kind of walks out and goes, I'm terribly sorry. It's been a stressful day and I'm losing control of a bit of the old... Well, you can see. I trust everyone's fine. He looks out across the room of people who are clearly in intense pain. Notably, it has not stopped since his appearance.
Are you able to turn that off?
No,
Wincing,
Great.
I'm like,
it'll go off. It'll wear off on its own in a moment or two.
All is well, Nomtar. It's a pleasure to see you.
You must be D&D, yes! He quickly
Yes.
rushes over to you, and, like, quickly grabs your hand and shakes it. Clearly more interested in D&D than anyone else, in this room. I'm sure much to the annoyance of... much to the annoyance of Soma, especially. But yes, he quickly, shakes your hand, goes on this spiel for a couple seconds about how they're so happy to have you here, blah 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 blah.
Yes, of course. I'm happy to be here.
At which point his face immediately falls again, and you can tell that this guy is very stressed. As he looks out over the rest of you, kind of goes, and forgive me, I don't always make my own schedule. Who are you all? I only thought I had 3 meetings today.
You did. Big guy didn't take a ticket.
Because I am Soma Kitaro, and if you have any interest in that glad-handing idiot, then you will certainly wish to speak with me.
He's also
Here is
last
his
in line.
ticket. Here's his ticket. He refused to accept it himself, but here it is on behalf of him. You will notice that it comes after mine.
I would like to know your smiting policy, because if it is liberal, then that little thing is the first to go.
Can you adhere to the line in that case? Because I'm a...
Well, I'm afraid it's largely an irrelevancy at this point. I shouldn't have had anyone schedule appointments today. With the meeting of the Omni-Mythic Council, everything is thrown into chaos, and I have so many more responsibilities than I normally would. We might have to postpone. Terribly sorry, D&D, and as for the rest of you, I'm also slightly sorry.
Hey, hold on. No, we're not postponing shit, buddy.
I agree with the skeleton. I have waited thousands of years to raise my complaint. I am not waiting a single moment more.
I got 3 fucking days until shit goes sideways, so I need some fucking help, okay?
What happens in 3 days?
That is what I was hoping to meet with you about, not in the fucking waiting room while you're trying to brush me the fuck off. So, can we handle this?
We'll have to handle it later with the Queen Bee absent. Regardless, if it is... He pauses in the middle of a sentence, and you see, like, realization very briefly dawn on his face, at which point he visibly relaxes. Oh! Well, we can handle we can handle this, of course. Do you mind meeting with someone a little lower on the chain of command, but no less capable of fixing all of your problems, I'm sure?
I might.
I just need this handled, man.
Good, that's one. D&D, we can be rescheduled as
It will be of no worry to me, no, Namtar.
Lord, what? You?
Cringe. Lord Cringe.
Lord Cringe, is that acceptable to you,
Yes.
Lord? I know we had a meeting to discuss your young age for the agency. I remember you now, but it'll be fine, I'm sure.
Yes, as long as you can get in contact with the concept of cringe to arrange by transportation, rescheduling should be no issue.
All right, and then you, large one, he looks up at you from his notably, actually not really shortest stature in the room, because I think Lord Cringe is probably shorter, but second shortest stature in the room.
I have fought wars of attrition before. If I must debase myself with someone lower on the chain of command, I shall. Especially to see what they want so gloriously with this oaf, my cousin.
Well, of course they want me, Soma. What I'm curious as to why you think they would want you.
Well, some people like visionaries who don't kiss ass their whole life.
Visionaries, please.
Tyrants. Hey, we're kind of on a timeline here, so could we...
Everyone in the room gets another brief pulse of headache.
God. Still doesn't make any sense.
I apologize, but it is quite useful for this type of thing. Anyway, I'm so sorry for the confusion. Let me just... he pulls up a hand and starts just sort of tapping in the air. And you can see little sort of effects appear wherever his hand sort of lands. Seemingly some sort of magical substitute for some sort of screen or communicator. And a moment later... A demon, not a notable demon in any sense, just one of the many sort of carrier minions that you've seen around the agency, appears at the door. And Namtar quickly addresses that minion and says, yes, if you could just take them to Charon, please. Charon will be able to handle...
Oh, god damn it.
Chiron?
Oh, I'm familiar.
Oh, you know him. I thought no one had
yeah.
seen him in Elysium for a while.
Oh, he gets... We swing by and have a conversation here and there, but he is quite to himself.
Yes, if you could actually explain which Chiron you were speaking of.
Chiron
from where I
is a
am
different...
from.
Oh, well, never mind. You'll
Yes.
see when you get down there. I do really have much to do. And he starts kind of backing away back into his office as he says
The
this.
names are really quite similar. It does require.
Yes,
further
I'll reach out to reschedule. Bam! Slams the door with another brief pulse of headache in all of your brains. As the demon just kind of stands there, presumably waiting for you to follow to wherever Charon is.
I just walk.
All right. The demon begins taking you through the halls of the Hades Agency HQ. Now, this is a very large building. You guys are welcome to talk amongst yourselves as you would go, or you can just have the journey in silence. I will defer to you guys for that, and as you get farther, I'll describe where you're going. But you're just hallways right now.
I don't have anything really to say, I don't think.
I do.
Oh, great.
Oh my god.
Gasp! Shock and awe.
Oh,
Soma
great.
likes to talk.
So, Theo, the fields of Elysium weren't good enough for you? You always were a little busybody.
They were, but after a few thousand years of paradise, you want to switch it up.
Oh, well, if paradise was something you wanted to leave, it wouldn't very well be paradise, would it? Me personally, I thought all those stories were boring anyhow, so I had no qualms with not ending up with all the heroes in Elysium.
Sounds like something people who can't get into Elysium say.
Oh, I could have.
Could
I
have.
had the mettle to do so. It's just I had greater ambition.
I have no right of mind to continue a conversation with you. I don't even know why you're here. You are the root of all of my problems. And as soon as we meet with Charon, we'll be on our separate ways, and that is the way I would prefer it.
Question:
Very well.
How is your cousin you haven't seen in possibly thousands of years the root of all of your problems? Surely you have other things.
Oh! I bit my tongue, but I have the same question, Theo.
I turn to Lord Cringe and not to Soma. No, it's quite a long story, Lord Cringe, that I would rather not get into right now.
It is
Because
quite a
they're-
long hallway, Theodeus.
I'm afraid we're
And-
not that well acquainted, Lord Cringe.
Oh,
That's
don't
fair
be...
enough. People usually say that to me, and I continue with my rolling backpack.
That was such a good line. We have to give a quick appreciation to. It's quite a long story. It's quite a long hallway. That was great. Anyway, if no one has anything to say to Soma and or Lord Cringe, the demon that you're following is eventually going to take you to an elevator where you are going to go down several floors, not seeing anything incredibly remarkable along the way. If you guys have any questions about the structure of the HQ, you are welcome to ask me. But eventually, as you go through this elevator, you stop at a floor that seems to be hangar bays, essentially. And the demon leads you past all of these, past one that is labeled Dock 1, Dock 2, Dock 3, etc., until eventually, at the end of the hallway, you get to one that should be labeled Dock 6, but someone has clearly taken spray paint or something and painted over it so that it now reads Dock Sticks. At which point, the demon leaves you at the door, not wanting to go into this hangar, apparently.
Matt, question.
Yeah.
How familiar am I with this place?
You would not have been to Dock Sticks before.
I've never been here before. Okay.
Maybe you've heard like vague mention of it, but you have not been to this hangar specifically.
I would also like
Got
to
it.
ask what I know about this with Karen. Is it Karen or Kyron?
Chiron.
Chiron.
Chiron is
Chiron.
the centaur, I believe.
Chiron
That's
is
a
the
different
centaur.
guy. Yeah.
Oh,
Got
yes.
it. How, as a man of ancient Greek-ness, how familiar am I with this sort of situation with this
Roll me a history
individual? Here we go. Huh. That is just an 11.
I'll go ahead and give you sort of the baseline because it's not that complicated, and this will also serve as a sort of mythology, brief for anyone in the audience who doesn't know. Charon is famously the ferryman of the river Styx. In Greek mythology, he was the guy that you would pay to take you basically to, and in some cases, if you had enough money, from the land of the dead. However, you would know this being from Elysium, several, probably centuries ago. Charon kind of stopped doing that, presumably because he wasn't getting paid anymore. People stopped paying for passage to the land of the dead, and he stopped doing it. And there were rumors that he ended up here in Elysium, which, some people can confirm. Obviously, we know that Jack has some dealings with this. But basically what this is for you is essentially a confirmation of rumors that you have heard. You don't know the details of, this place.
That he ended up somewhere in Irkala and
Yes, somewhere working for the agency specifically is what I guess I should say.
The agency.
The rumor is that he was working for the agency, and that is correct.
Got it. Okay.
All right. You guys are going in?
Yeah, I just walk right in. I don't feel. I mean, presumably I rode on his little raft into Elysium when I first got here, so I've met with him before.
That is true. So, entering Dock Styx, the first thing that you notice is in the center of this large hangar, there is really what can probably be most accurately described, though some of your characters would not have the frame of reference for this, a spaceship. Basically, what looks like a giant sort of oblong spaceship in the center of this place. And, notably, plastered on the side of it is the label, the Riverboat. I'll give you with the history check. That's not what he had before. That is definitely not what he had before, but it's what he has now. And on sort of the bottom of the riverboat, kind of the classic thing, slid under it, kind of working at some panels on the bottom, you see a figure. That figure being, presumably, Charon.
Ooh, look at that art.
Look at that.
Wow. See that, Spotify listeners?
It'll be on places, don't worry. I'll get rid of
Look at that.
Go.
So, okay.
He does not address you when you walk in.
Hello, Charon. Are you Charon?
Again, this is a large room. You're shouting across. He does not seem to hear you, wrapped up in whatever he is working on, unless you're walking up to him.
I'll walk. If he's the only one around.
The second we walked in, Jack didn't stop moving. He's just gonna keep walking forward until he gets to him.
I'm
on the same wavelength.
I have a question for Jack, for Panda, and
yeah,
this is gonna be weird and vague to the people who don't know what's going on, but Panda will know, and I'm sorry, but I do need to know. Panda, is Jack's voice different?
Ever so slightly.
But it is recognizable. Okay, that is important to know.
Okay.
It's like when a character gets turned into a skeleton in animation, and all of a sudden they talk slightly different. It's basically that.
Recognizable though, that's what matters. So, Theo just walks right up to this boat with, presumably Jack in tow, and I guess the others following behind if you want, calls out, at which point the figure under the riverboat kind of jolts, Jesus fucking Christ, who the fuck are you?
Hey, Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Motherfucker, Jack?
Yeah.
He slides himself out of under the ship, pulls himself up to his full height, where you can see he is unnaturally tall. He is probably around 7 feet tall, kind of gaunt, even though he's wearing this, full sort of skeletal looking tack suit. He just kind of looks down, looks back up at you. Jack, what the ever-loving fuck happened to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help with that, bud.
You want to
know each other.
explain? Yes, I know. Jack, hold the fuck up. Who is it? Why are you all in my fucking dock?
Why do I keep getting pushed to the back of the line?
We got sent here by Namtar.
You didn't get sent here by shit. He pulls out like a little disc that taps on a couple times. Goes, oh fuck, you did get sent here by Namtar. Shit. Okay. First off, because I'm assuming that Namtar called me Karan, as Jack has already implied. No one fucking calls me that except for him. Call me Ronnie, okay? No one calls me that anymore.
I will call you as I please, Charon, as that is what I
would
knew you
suggest
as in life.
sticking with Ronnie.
Ronnie points at Jack, points at Soma, and just nods once. And as he looks over the group as he's doing this, you know, he sees Jack, who he knows, sees Theo, who he kind of recognizes the Greek aesthetic of, same with Soma, and then he gets over to Lord Cringe and kind of jolts, what the fuck is that?
I am Lord Cringe, chosen of the concept of cringe, and I have been sent here.
Okay, Jack, tell me what the fuck this is all about.
Listen, they were just in the fucking line with me, man. This, hey, you remember like 3 years ago, Mexico City, the deal that I did?
Vaguely.
Yeah, turns out cigarettes do cause lung cancer, even if you are magic. So, I wasn't really planning on it being now, but I never really tied up that deal. So they're coming to.
So the fucking marks all over your goddamn face. That's the fucking Zabalbans? That's the fucking mark.
Zabalbans.
Ronnie pauses for like a solid 5 seconds and then just bursts out laughing for an extended period of time. And after finally collecting himself,
Get it out.
Jack, that's the funniest fucking shit since Reagan died. What the
fuck you
hell?
too, man, okay?
Okay, so
Listen.
I know why the fuck you're here.
Can we handle this? You know when my timer is up. I'm on a fucking time limit, man.
Yeah, we'll get that shit handled. I see why Namtar sent you to me. This seems below his fucking pay grade. What about the rest of you? What are you fuckers here for?
I can tell you exactly what I am here for.
Oh, Jesus fucking... Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be here a while, bud.
Yeah, he has a whole spiel he has to go through about
You're one to talk.
Whatever.
It shall be truncated, as I am sure Charon is at least somewhat familiar with my deeds. I sent him plenty of fodder for his little boat. I, despite, as you know, being a ruthless and very successful conqueror in my life, landed in Irkala, a place reserved for, what is the parlance I overheard? Normies? So, boatman, being responsible for ferrying folk from to and fro, how exactly did such a huge clerical error happen to me?
It's not an error, genius.
Fuck if I know. I just take them where it's supposed to go.
But
It
I'm not
seems you did your
supposed to
job
be
perfectly.
here.
Hey, look at it this way, whatever the fuck your name is. If Namtar sent you to me, clearly that means there's a problem that he needs me to fix. So, maybe we can get that shit handled for you.
Or you're just a nepo baby with a stick up your ass.
Nepo baby
Or
with a
maybe
stick
you're-
up.
Or maybe your own personal hell is being normal. That would be my personal hell.
Before addressing that, when Jack says the comment about the stick, Ronnie, like, just makes a quick downward motion with his hand, and a massive oar just sort of extends out of it from nowhere. Goes, okay, we're gonna keep the speeches quick, or there's gonna be 2 sticks up there. Anyway, kid, what's the... I don't know what the fuck anything you're saying means.
I feel like I'm speaking in the plain tongue.
Wrong.
Well, would you at least try to understand me? No one ever does.
Oh.
Oh my
That's
god.
sad.
Do you have something I can assist you with, weird little lizard kid?
Well, yes, I was sent here on behalf of the concept of cringe to serve as agents.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just message Namta later and ask what your whole shit is. So, let me get this fucking straight. Jack, you need... Well, I know what you need, that whole fucking thing. I don't know if I can fix that one. That's a deal with the Zabalbans, but I can get you there to fucking
Come
talk to
on,
them.
man.
I'm not fucking with the Zabalbans!
I don't even know what
How
that
many times
is.
have I gotten you out of shit? I need your help this one time.
So here's a quick note. People from the modern day can roll a history check for the Zabalbans if they would like. There is no way in hell that ancient Greek people would know what these are. Therefore,
Oh yeah, that's an 18 for the history check.
those are the Mayan death gods.
Oh, yeah. I assume you're on like one of those timers, like the one that was supposed to end the world in 2012, but this one's very, very real.
Kinda.
You're gonna die.
Technically, you're all already
You're
dead.
Where the fuck are we?
Yeah.
I mean,
How did
whatever
you
you
get
did,
here?
I think you're gonna like super die. You're gonna super die. Like we might be
I
dead,
can
but like,
guarantee
we
you
might be like
it's so
super
much
dead.
worse than that.
At this point, Ronnie chimes in and goes, "Look, I've been to Zabalba. I can tell you fucking exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna take your weird-looking skull, and they're gonna use it as a fucking ball in their blood sports."
I am aware of what they're gonna do with my skull. It's in the fucking contract, all right?
Yeah,
And
I
you
don't know why
signed
the
this.
fuck you
Deal,
signed that.
I just got handed it. I didn't.
Didn't seem very wise to me. I don't know.
I don't need your fucking assistance, man.
Okay, so what I'm...
If hypothetically you were handed a contract that promised you certain things, you are supposed to read it thoroughly.
When you're not drunk off of 2 straight days of tequila, yeah, that's usually what you're supposed to do with it.
Oh, Jack, alcohol is poison for the mind.
Understood. What happens when you do that?
I take out
you're not
a
drunk?
pack of smokes from my jacket and throw it at Theo and go back to what I'm doing.
What even are these?
What even are these?
Ronnie at this point is just kind of like leaning, arms crossed against the side of the riverboat, watching you all argue with each other. Expression
Ronnie.
impossible to read because he's wearing like a fighter pilot helmet.
Yeah.
Ronnie, I need your fucking assistance. I just need to get out of here. You know, if I am here like this, they're gonna find me. And I would rather that not happen.
Look, I think I get why Namta sent you. It's just a bunch of errand running, man. You need to get out of Urkala. The green guy needs to get out of here. The rest of you just need, whatever the fuck, the
I'm
tour
here to
or
work.
whatever.
I don't know
Yeah,
if he needs
help.
to get out of here. He seems like he's supposed to be here.
yeah. So
I'm here for a job.
you're here for a job. That's fucking fantastic. Okay, how about this? I'm supposed to be on break right now, but I get paid for whatever. Everybody on the fucking boat, and we'll just do a quick little errand run, take it everywhere where they're supposed to go. Does that sound good?
That sounds fine to me. Where's your
Did you
gondola?
get lowered the bus driver, man?
He stops dead in his tracks as he's turning around and turns to goes, "Motherfucking bus driver. Jack, buddy, this fucking ship is the best ship in the entire fucking afterworlds. I am here because I'm the best pilot in the whole goddamn agency, and they pay me accordingly. I ain't no
I'm
fucking
aware of
bus
this
driver."
fact. Apologies.
Yeah,
All right,
apologize.
Obviously, I don't think shit through. Can we get on the ship and get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, better an apology now than when your head's a fucking soccer ball. Get on there. And then
Excellent.
he taps the thing on his little disc, and a ramp lowers down for you guys to get on the ship.
Is it what? This does not look like your old gondola, Ronnie.
Indeed, this looks very poorly suited to traversing the water. I cannot see how it could be the best ship.
He's got problems with taking seats, so I'm not exactly sure if he's gonna be able to get in there.
At this
Perhaps
point,
he has hemorrhoids.
Very wise observation, Lord Cringe. He could
You
very
don't
well have
require
hemorrhoids.
tickets. He doesn't like taking those either.
Someone like Soma Kitaro would definitely have them.
I reach into my roller backpack and take out some tucks and hand him.
For the hemorrhoids.
Soma's
for your
very
hemorrhoids,
hemorrhoid-coated.
He kicks the bottle out of your hand. And like, honestly, grumpily just walks up the stairs.
He's so done getting roasted by this whole fucking line.
Blessing grace should be beneath my heel.
As you guys go onto the ship, Ronnie goes directly to the cockpit and presumes that you will all follow him. But as you're going, just for note, I would compare this ship in like size and not shape, but sort of purpose to the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy, in that like there are rooms where there would be like storage, small sleeping quarters, but it's not massive. It's not like a giant HQ ship. It is like a decently sized sort of Avengers Quinjet dropship situation. And Ronnie leads you up to the cockpit, where there is 4 seats up there, and notably, no sort of driver's seat that you can see. There is just sort of another oblong, almost boat-shaped sort of control panel up at the front. Everyone roll me... Actually, you know, you don't need to roll a perception check for that. As you get up there, Ronnie kind of goes over to one of the seats, where it is notably covered in flower petals for some reason, which is not at all what you would expect from the aesthetic of this whole thing. And he kind of half-heartedly wipes them off. And as he's doing that, he points over to the seat that is in like one of the back corners, which notably is like shrouded in this weird darkness. Like nothing physical that you can see, but that corner of the cockpit is just notably darker than everything else in here. And as he points, he goes, "Oh yeah, fucking good luck to whoever's sitting there. I was transporting the Reshkagal a bit ago, and some of her fucking whatever aura hasn't exactly dissipated yet. In hindsight," he pauses, "I'll fucking think I was supposed to tell you that a Reshkagal was on this flight, but fuck it, I don't give a shit." And he...
Would I have to roll like a history check? Would I have any concept of who a Reshkagal is?
Yeah.
Despite
Everyone
ending up-
can
Same
give me,
question.
Yeah, you can give me history or arcana checks for this.
Oh, I
Let's
got
do
it.
history
Okay.
again.
They are both
14?
-1.
16.
Also a 14.
Okay, so
And-
we'll just go with the 16. Basically, I'll do a quick sort of refresher course. 16 is good enough as a refresher for the leaders of the H.A.D.E.S agency. The H.A.D.E.S agency is run by a council of technically 4, practically 3 people. Those 3 people are Anubis, Zhang Kui, who is a Chinese like demon killer guy, and Persephone. Anubis, Zhang Kui, Persephone. The 4th council member is Ereshkigal, the queen of Urkala, who, this is the part that you guys, that only the 16 gets. Ereshkigal is on the council as a formality, because the H.A.D.E.S agency is based in her realm. It covers all of the different underworlds, but it is based in her realm. However, she really doesn't give a shit about it, historically. Ereshkigal is never seen in the affairs of the agency. She is just there because the agency set up in her realm, and out of courtesy, gave her a spot on the council. It's weird that she was on this flight that was clearly from the presence of flower petals, presumably transporting the whole council.
Yeah. Jack looking at the petals, and then I'm assuming Jack, he's had dealings. I'm assuming he knows who Ereshkigal is.
Yeah. All of you
he's gonna
can
look
know
at
or
the-
can figure it out from, you know.
I'm gonna look at the petals and then look at the darkness and go,
Ronnie, why was the council on your boat, man?
I think that's above your pay grade, to be honest with you.
I mean, is there like, should I be worried?
He thinks about it for a second and then kind of shrugs, presumably realizing he already accidentally said the most classified part anyway, and just kind of goes, at which point he goes, it was fucking council of the Omni-Myth meeting somewhere else. This was the transport. I came back for a bit. I'll go pick them up when they're done.
I was wrong.
Uh,
Taxi. And he goes and sits down.
Again, he does not yell at you directly for this, but he goes up to the front, and you kind of hear him mutter. He was like, "Yeah, fucking sure, the guy who best pilot hired to transport the fucking most important people in the goddamn afterworlds. So fucking taxi."
Do you offer snacks? Do I need to reserve the next one? He pulls out his cell phone and like shakes it when he says this.
When you ask if he offers snacks without saying a word, Ronnie points at Lord Cringe.
I actually do have some snacks in my pack. I have pretzels, not the bended kind, the stick kind, as well as Mott's apple juice.
Yeah, sure, kid. That's what I fucking meant. Anyway,
I am going to sit in the seat shrouded in darkness. Perhaps I can get a read on the mindset of presumably who sent me to my destination in this afterlife, and confidently he will take this very obviously cursed seat.
I was going to recommend you sit there as well, Soma.
You have fun, bud.
Oh, great minds think alike, but I suppose you got there as well.
Nothing notably different happens to your experience sitting in this seat, Soma. It's just, it's a little hard to see the rest of the room, and the air is notably colder. Otherwise, it's basically the same. But as everybody is picking their seats, Ronnie kind of hits some buttons on the cockpit. Doesn't seem too invested in whatever it is. And the large hangar door for Doc Sticks, which you can see out the window, begins to slide up. He goes, "Okay, so we're doing fucking errands. I'm supposed to be on my break, like I said, so we're gonna go get fucking lunch first. And then we'll take you guys where you're supposed to go. Anyone object to that?"
I don't have a stomach anymore, but I mean, I'll take the smoke break, so.
See, the fun part about this was I actually don't give a fuck if any of you object.
A question. Do you still have allergies when you are dead?
I have absolutely no fucking idea.
All right.
Did you have allergies before?
Yes.
To what?
I go into my bag and I pull out my list of allergens.
Should have expected that one, yeah.
What isn't in there?
Ah, scroll! We have these.
A scroll of foods that will curse the stomach.
Some weird ancient language.
That's right, buddy.
Actually, wait. Do you go and look? That's notable.
Good job.
Do you like pull out and look at the list? You can read it
Me?
if you do. You can read it.
I will. I'll take a look
No,
at it.
I mean literally, you can read it.
I can read it?
It is not in an ancient language that you do not know. You can read it. You don't know how you can read it, but you can.
Interesting.
If there's anything specific you can do with that, like, I wasn't expecting that to get revealed in this way, so you don't have to do anything with that. But
I'm looking at it, I was like, actually, it's quite strange. I have never seen any of this type of hieroglyphics before, but I understand it perfectly. Keep Lord Cringe away from anything with gluten.
I look down at the very obviously lizard person. Are you even wearing any clothes?
Yeah, I'm
Or are
wearing
you
heavy
just-
armor.
Heavy armor. Okay, heavy armor. Very obvious kobold. And like,
What is your diet supposed to be?
Well, before I got this super rad form, I was but a human child.
You were not always
This
a
is the
beast.
upgrade?
No, I was not always a beast, but this is my evolved form. I get to be a little dragon, as I've always wanted to be.
Manifest destiny. Something not many people can pull off, Lord Cringe.
Jack stands up and kind of walks up towards Ronnie and goes,
Should I inform the small one that they are very obviously a kobold?
do you care about the small one? I don't.
That's a great point, Ron.
He goes and he sits back down again.
So Ronnie, who has at this point just been like preparing for takeoff the whole time, without warning, starts the ship sequence. So you all feel a maybe unexpected rumble as the riverboat takes off and begins leaving the agency.
Just for the physical humor, I want to say that I didn't get back to my seat by the time he did that, and I just like
He would not
fly
wait for
past
you.
everybody as the ship takes off.
He would not wait for you, so that's 100% canon. Now, at this point, out of the window of the riverboat, the front windshield, you guys, some of you at least, are going to get your first glimpse at Urkala proper. I believe technically Soma might be the only one who has seen the outside of the HQ before. But as you leave the HQ, at first, it's incredibly unremarkable, almost underwhelming, as you see essentially nothing. See, Urkala has no natural light whatsoever. No stars, no moon, no sun, nothing. It is a pitch black realm, and the ground, though you are far above it right now, is basically just a flat gray plain of dust. However, as Ronnie leaves the HQ, the riverboat tilts downwards a little bit, and as it does so, you see the landscape change notably. Because you realize that the HQ is a giant spire, notably the only thing above ground that you can see outside of the whole realm of Urkala. But there are things underground. Looking at the flat plain, you see a massive network of gigantic ravines and chasms, all of which are emanating lots of very strange, chaotic, multicolored light. And as Ronnie takes the riverboat down, you see the city of Urkala, not just the realm, the city, named the same because it is the only landmark that anyone is aware of within the entire realm. Now, as Ronnie takes you down, he's not paying too much attention to the controls. This seems to be something that is simple enough to do on autopilot. You dip down into one of the larger ravines, and you see that Urkala, one, is deep. If you look down as you are descending, you cannot see the bottom of these ravines. It is just things all the way down that eventually fade into darkness. But on the side of these ravines are buildings carved directly into the stone walls. There are building materials that you would expect in some places, wood, brick, metal, etc., but that's not exactly easy to import to the underworld, and therefore most things are just carved directly out of the sides. On a similar note, it's also very hard, nigh impossible in fact, to import electrical systems into the underworld. And thus, there is no standardized system of light. However, there is light made by various sources of magic that seem to be not standardized whatsoever. Everyone just lights their buildings in whatever way they have available, meaning that one building might be lit with arcs of purple lightning, another one might be lit with braziers of red fire, the third one down might be not lit at all, just pitch black, and the fourth one might have green floating skulls around its eaves. All of this in this infinite dark ravine creates a scene that I would describe as almost spooky underworld magic cyberpunk, as the only source of light are these artificial spells different everywhere along this ravine that again stretches very far forward, very far back, branches off into other cracks, and goes down with more and more layers and layers and layers and layers until you cannot see anymore. Now, Ronnie is just going to continue flying. He's not speaking about where he's going at the moment. If anyone wants to do any checks for the realm or information or has any questions about what you see, feel free to ask. This is a transport sequence.
I would like to... Do I have enough... Ritual casting takes 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. We can say you'll have enough time to get wherever you're going. It's very clear that this is not the riverboat's like top speed. So if you want to do something that takes 10 minutes just for the sake of convenience, I'll allow it.
Just because I was one of the few people who clocked the weird shit going on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we had a meeting, we all got pushed, and the guy seemed stressed. He was talking about some Omnimyth meeting. I don't really know what that means. I just want to reach, like, sort of crisscross applesauce on the floor of the ship and cast augury
Okay.
Um,
You're gonna have to remind me the specific details of that
yes.
spell, but okay.
I basically reach out to my goddess, which would be Athena. I'll just read it verbatim. By casting gem inlaid sticks, rolling dragon bones, laying out ornate cards, or blah 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 blah, you receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the result of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following possible omens: wheel for good results, woe for bad results.
I'm gonna Google this so that I can read it because this is a lot of words that I was not mentally prepared for so many words. Okay.
It's basically like fortune telling, like, hey, in the next 30 minutes, what's about to happen?
And in flavor, is this specifically like asking Athena for stuff?
I think so. I
Okay.
think me and Athena have a good relationship, relatively. I think what it probably
Are
looks
you
like.
calling your mom?
Yes, calling my mom.
my
and I
God.
think what it looks like, for me, is sitting crisscross on the floor with like my shield on my lap and my hands on the shield. And there's an owl on the shield, the mark of Athena, and the owl's eyes will glow yellow, as do mine.
Okay. Now, you don't have to do any sort of rolls for this that I'm seeing. However, I am going to have you make an insight check really quick. This is not to determine the success of the spell. This is for a related thing. So as you're doing this, make an insight check, and then I will
As
do the
a
spell.
demigod of wisdom, that is my best skill. Oh, that is a 27.
A 27. Okay, so you're gonna get a lot of info here. So the first thing that you notice is whatever like this spell normally looks and or feels like to cast for you, it feels a little bit different. It takes a little bit longer. It's a little bit more difficult. Almost as if there's some sort of like not hold up, but something on the other end. And I will go ahead and give you can remember or parse whatever the details are. I'm going to tell you from that 27 what the Omni-Myth is. The Omni-Myth is all the gods. All of them.
Just all of them.
It is all the gods. It is basically the Senate of the gods. And Athena, presumably, is there, which is maybe why this is taking a bit, because she is possibly busy if there's a meeting, which I will also, just remind everyone, basically what this means is there has been a meeting called of all of the gods that is so important that the one who usually never leaves her palace, Ereshkigal, has also gone to it.
Yes.
Now, of course, you are the only one that knows this at the moment. You're the only one that can parse this out with the augury spell. And then the augury spell does go through. I'm not going to stop that from going through because of this. It's not that distracted. It is... Okay. So, this is a weird spell, man. So I guess you tell me what you want to predict the outcome of, because it says specific course.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you getting? Yeah.
So I'm here to, get hired and get a job at the Agents of Hades, but there's some weird sus shit happening, and I'm with my fucking arch nemesis and a bunch of other people I don't know. I just want to make sure that we're not being led astray down any potentially dangerous path, or because I've never been outside of Elysium. It's like a fucking farmer boy going to New York City for the first time.
Okay, so I'm gonna condense that into like one thing and do correct. I'm not trying to do any tricky wording here. Correct me if this is not the right interpretation. You want to is what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes, which is the limit of the spell, good for me being a hero with the Hades Agency?
Yes.
Okay.
Good for me as far as returning to my heroic duties.
You are going to get Wheel and Woe, which is probably the most unhelpful answer, but it is the answer. Specifically, that is both good and bad results. Again, unhelpful answer, but that's the answer that you get for that question.
Shout out, Mom.
Do you
Cool.
say thanks, Mom, out loud?
I whisper under our breath, thanks, Mom.
Did you call
What?
your mom?
What?
Did you call your mom
Did you
just
just-
now?
Did you spend the last 10 minutes calling your mom?
No.
Oh,
Is that what he's been doing back there? I saw him get out of the
That's
chair.
all right.
It's okay
My-
if you've been calling your mom. Normal people
Are you
would,
okay?
normies would call that cringy, but I find that admirable.
My mother is the goddess of wisdom, and I seeked her counsel.
So,
So yes, I called my mom. Yes, yes.
Oh,
Okay,
you
bud.
still never grew up, did you, Theo?
At least my godly
You
parents
introduced
enjoyed
yourself
me.
as son of Hades. You got nothing to speak of.
Aries,
Aries, you
Aries.
Whatever. I don't fucking care.
And I bet your father doesn't even like you as a person.
Ooh.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
Angsty. I love my mom.
Are you guys gonna be like this the entire trip? Because
Well,
I will
ideally-
hand my head over just out the jump if that's the case.
Surely we're almost there. Then I can get this fiend out of my hair for the rest of my humble existence.
Oh, so humble.
And yes, you are almost there, fortunately. Ronnie docks the ship sort of in the center of one of these larger ravines. You've, turned and twisted through a couple of them. The layout is very, very chaotic for what it's worth. And since you saw it from above, I'll say it is as if the spire that is the agency HQ was literally stabbed into the ground and the city was built in the cracks that resulted. That is basically what it looks like from above. Ronnie parks the ship, just kind of hovering in the center, and then walks out, sort of just gesturing for you to follow, going back down, lowering the ramp, and just kind of pointing, goes, yeah, I didn't park too good, so just don't fall in. And if you look out, you see that there's like a 1 foot gap that just goes into the infinite ravine below, out to the sort of balcony-like walkway.
And this is lunch.
That is on the side. Yeah, he points at like presumably a restaurant on the side that you don't recognize. Like you're on a street. It's just that the center of the street is canyon.
Does he not recognize it, or do none of us recognize it?
This seems to just. I mean, you can roll a check for it if you can roll a perception check for it if you want. Actually, give
If
me.
There's a Starbucks
weirdly,
in hell.
Fucking Ronnie knew a spot. And now...
Well, no. Actually, Jack specifically, give me a history check because Jack is the only one that has like dealings in Urkala with Urkalans. So Jack specifically, you can give me a history check here.
18.
18? Okay, that's good. I'll give you a little bit of a lore drop on Urkala. So, food is actually super, super, super big and important in Urkalan culture. Because, well, for a couple of reasons, really. Number one, and this is a note for all of you guys as well, you don't have to eat. You're dead. You don't have to eat, drink, breathe, sleep, etc. But you can electively if you so choose. And since food is no longer a necessity, and also, like, there's no electricity, so a lot of other food or forms of entertainment have not been possible here, there is, like, a surprisingly massive and surprisingly weird, like, culinary culture here, because it is a really good way for people to, like, have entertainment, to sort of connect themselves back to the world of the living. Urkalan food is varied, and Urkalan food is good. So this is, Jack, this is not at all, like, out of the ordinary for Roddy to just pull up to a random restaurant on the side and be like, yeah, this is where we're going to get food.
God, I hope I can still taste.
That's a good question. I don't think we've actually established whether you can do that as a skeleton. I'm going to probably... Do you have a tongue? I think it's bad.
I don't have a brain. I already established I don't have a brain.
I was going to say,
so...
I think if you do have a tongue, that's a very bad image. And this is a horror campaign, so you can if you would like, but your call.
I think it's kind of more magical. Like, I'm a skeleton held together by nothing, and, like, I have glowing little pupils and everything, but, like, physically, I don't really have anything outside of what a normal skeleton would have. So
Cool.
I'm going to say no, but he's really hoping that that's not true.
Okay, so no tongue, and then, we'll determine what that means when
Jack,
you get in there.
You don't have a brain?
I look at him with my skeleton face, and
There's a couple things I don't have, Chief.
Soma, you're in good company. Let's eat.
Wait a
respect that.
goddamn minute!
I like him.
So yeah, Ronnie leads you guys into this restaurant. It largely resembles the outside. Again, all of the base buildings of Arcala look very similar because they are all just carved out of the stone that makes up the walls. But much like the outside, there are various decorations, many of which are sort of magical glowing effects in some way that make them all unique. So there are, signs, like sort of neon signs in a way, magically generated, depicting various dishes and stuff. Ronnie takes you to a table, sits down, big enough for all of you, and just kind of gestures for the rest of you to sit, saying as he does so, I wasn't exactly fucking wanting to share food with people today, but if you're here, why the fuck not?
Much appreciated, Ronnie.
Yeah, don't thank me.
Very well.
Now, if a moment passes, and someone, notably a mortal, presumably a dead mortal soul, comes up to you at the table and kind of just like looks around, doesn't ask you for a menu, notably, looks around first to see if anybody like speaks up as to what they want to eat, and then her eyes drift over to Ronnie. Ronnie just kind of goes, you know what I want, and passes it on. Which she writes down.
I'll take the special.
She writes it down.
Yes, I would. What would you recommend on the menu?
Special's good.
Special's good? Well, then I have the special.
I would like a rum raisin milkshake.
Jesus.
An interesting combination of flavors.
A rum raisin milkshake. I want. Does Jack care enough to do a history check on? Jack, you can find out a little bit of information if you care enough to do a history check on this, but
I'm very confused. So yes,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Jack is like, what the fuck? History. Let's do this. 15.
15. Okay, now I realized kind of as I said, I forgot. My brain went rum alcoholic, and then I was like, wait, rum raisin isn't actually like an alcoholic thing. But
That
for
is
notes,
indeed a flavor, yeah.
since I already had you roll, I'll give you the lore anyway. Basically, alcohol doesn't work down here because you're all ghosts, but there are magical substitutes that do the same thing. Again, that doesn't really matter because I forgot what rum raisin was, because who the hell? But also...
that is 100%. I don't know if you can tell the expression, but that is the look that Jack is giving you. Like, what the fuck even is that? No one...
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
The woman looks equally confused. Like, I don't think we have that.
Can you please check?
They don't have that.
This is a ramen restaurant.
Oh. I was unaware.
Do you...
In that case, may I have a different milkshake that it does come with this restaurant? Possibly a matcha flavored one.
Okay.
Lord cringe, I'm
Did
not
you
sure if they have
hear-
milkshakes at all.
Did you hear that this is a ramen place? They don't typically serve milkshakes.
Well, I just read on his scroll that they can't have any gluten, so
I will
dairy
just
be in
have
there?
the broth, but no soy.
Ronnie just kind of nods at the one, goes, special.
If you've anything less than ambrosia, then I'll not sully my tongue with it.
Nothing then. Okay.
God.
Soma, in all your
Taro.
travels, you never tried foreign cuisine. You just kill the chefs, right?
Indeed.
Soma Couture. Sorry, how do you say your character's name again?
Somakitaro.
Soma Kitaro. Has anyone ever told you you are high maintenance?
Yes, me.
You just asked for a rum raisin shake.
That is something that can easily be attained at most establishments I have eaten prior to death.
I have been told such little thing, but I take it as a compliment. You cannot live an exemplary life being low maintenance.
Jack,
Yet you somehow went to normal hell.
Jack takes the cigarette out of his mouth and like points it at him and is like, "Do you want to relax a little bit? Just a touch?"
What are you pointing at me? What death stick are you pointing at me?
Well, for one, we're already dead, so it's not going to do much. And two, take a breath. It helps you relax.
He like snatches it from you.
Roddy like
I do
sits
wanna
back
point-
like, how's this gonna go?
I want to point out for everybody who is also watching, the second he snatches it from him, not even when people can blink, there's already another one already lit in Jack's mouth. Not like he pulled it out and lit it, like it magically appeared.
Hmm.
It's part of the curse. I died of lung cancer. You don't really get to stop.
Roddy starts laughing
airway.
again. Roddy's just like laughing to himself off to the side.
You get used to it. Eventually, it helps. Just keep going.
This fool tried to double kill me, and he's flicks it at you.
For the
it's not-
record,
Okay.
history lesson. Tobacco didn't even reach Europe until like the 1500s.
Yeah.
So, like, smoking, the concept of smoking
It would
anything,
fuck him up so much.
like, what is this gaseous poison?
Closest thing you probably had to smoking was the gas under wherever the Oracle of Delphi was.
Yeah, like we used to light eucalyptus on fire.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it smells great in here.
Is there a thick fog coming out of my mouth?
There's one in your lungs. I'll promise you that.
Perhaps you are possessed by some sort of spirit.
That does fucking happen down here.
The Marlboro Man does go in there and kick the shit out of your lungs when you get there. So
Marlboro Man. Another deity.
very
added to the
famous. You should get acquainted with him.
I don't know who this Marlboro Man is, but I will have his head for inventing these.
Actually, he's in Elysium too.
list. No shit.
And now I have to decide if that's canon or not later.
Somakichiro adds that to a mental list of things to bring up in his complaints.
I want it known that straight up, that is Jack lying out of his ass. He's trying to fuck with these two.
Okay, good. Ronnie notices this, laughs again a little bit. Doesn't have anything else to say at the moment. He's just looking all over this conversation with... You cannot see his face. You can get the idea of just like the pure like what the fuck amusement that he has watching over this group right now.
Yeah.
But you guys are free to continue conversations if you would like. After a couple moments, the waitress comes back with food. Everyone who got the which I believe was actually everyone. Yes, everyone but
One way or
Soma.
another.
Everyone but
so-
Soma who didn't order anything.
So she does come back with 4 bowls, one of them being for Ronnie, and sets them all in front of you. It is definitely ramen. It is recognizable as that for anyone who knows what that is, so probably Jack and Lord Cringe only.
Yeah.
But even you two, you don't know what like the extra ingredients to this are. There's unrecognizable to you.
Ronnie,
What's up?
is any of this gonna double kill me?
You think I would have brought you here if I was gonna fucking double kill you? I would have just done that shit on the fucking plane.
Fair. He immediately grabs a spoon and starts eating.
These are rice noodles, correct?
Who are you asking? Are you asking Ronnie or calling the waitress over or just the table?
The waitress.
You call the waitress over, and she kind of just, I mean, I don't know, are they? What's the most common? No, you know what? No, they're not rice noodles. What are rice noodles?
They're just noodles made out of rice.
Okay, I didn't know that was
Yeah.
a thing. They're
Yeah.
normal noodles. If that's, yeah, they're normal noodles.
Cool. I start chowing down.
Okay, so for those of you who are eating, it's notably ridiculously good. Like, maybe some of the best food that you've had, actually not maybe, some of the best food that you've had living or dead.
By the
Can I
gods!
taste it?
No.
Am I allergic to this food?
If there are any allergy symptoms, I'm pointing where my screen is arranged, not where the audience can see. If there are any allergens, you do not feel any effects of them. For Theo, best food you've ever had. For Jack, the texture's pretty good, I guess. And for Soma, you are not eating food.
This is truly delectable. One would mistake it for ambrosia if I didn't know any better.
You're just eating with your hands.
After the broth.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the broth goes through his mouth and just stains his fucking shirt, Jack looks down and, damn it, and slides his over to Soma, and is like, "Here, this might work better."
Maybe you're just hangry all these years. You ever think of that?
I will try it, but only to prove that you have never had a discerning palate. He eats it.
It's good.
Fuck.
It's okay.
Yeah. Is this some type of some type of bread or? It's weird. I've never had anything quite like this.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of that shit in Greece, huh?
No, not at all.
Yeah, shit's changed a lot.
My foster parents were incorrect. Gluten actually does make things taste better.
I don't even know what gluten is. I just read the word.
Your existence saddens me, small one.
Following up to this, Ronnie kind of looks over at Lord Cringe and goes, "Fuck, you know what, kid? I'm actually really fucking glad I met you today and learned your name, because that's going to make it way easier to avoid you in the future."
I have also heard this statement expressed to me before.
I'm not surprised. Anyway, you guys continue eating your ramen. Again, if you would like to have any conversations over this, you can, but I will defer to you guys if you would like to say anything, ask anything, or we can move on.
You frequent this restaurant, ferryman. Why?
I mean, we're all immortal down here, so frequent isn't really a concept that sticks around, but relatively, yeah.
Why? You surely do not need the nourishment.
Have you tasted it?
Notably, if you look at Ronnie, you have not seen him move to eat. The bowl is empty.
There's also the logistical matter of how exactly you consume it.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, right?
I didn't even notice you eat.
Nope. You guys just want to keep asking me questions about how my fucking digestive system works?
I mean, I would much rather get to the bottom of getting to my job, hopefully.
Yeah. I don't know why Namtas sent you to me if you're just getting hired. Feels like it was better to send you off to a squadron or something. They probably just sent...
Fantastic.
Were you in the room with all these fuckers when he sent you? He probably just sent you along.
Yeah.
Look, consider this mission one, escorting the rest of these losers to wherever the hell they need to go.
All right, I will bite. Finally. What exactly is this job, and why are we being treated as suckers? Surely at least I am capable and qualified for it if this maroon is.
Ronnie kind of like sits back for a second and goes, "Oh yeah, I always forget you ancient types don't know what a fucking superhero is."
A what? No, wait.
What?
Surely I am a superhero.
Yeah, you
I'm a
probably...
hero who is super
You probably...
good
you
at
know,
being a hero.
You know what? You're the fucking golden boy. It's like... I don't want to explain... I don't want to explain the fucking concepts to you. Basically, sometimes when you come down here, you got weird shit that other people can't do. And if you're feeling kind-hearted or want money, like I do, then you do that for the agency. And you keep people's souls from getting eaten or whatever the fuck shit happens down here. It's really not that fucking complicated.
Superheroes. Are those strange people who have been showing up in Elysium here and there that talk so different and tell tales of chariots that are not drawn by a horse and mirrors where you look into them but only see the bad parts of yourselves?
Yeah, we've had
Are
them
they
down
wearing
here.
capes?
We've had them down here for a while. But I did hear that they started showing up on the surface world a couple years back, which was weird. Jack, don't you count as one of those? Sort of?
I prefer not to talk about it.
He counts.
You count. Congratulations.
It depends on who you ask.
He's not the fucking cape type, but it's sort of the same shit.
I believe I too count in this superhero category.
I can guarantee you do not.
You have not seen the strength of my power yet.
I have been in your presence for like an hour, and I already want to kill you. And if I count, that must make you a villain at the very best.
A
I
villain.
don't think so. I've only served what is cringe, and the fear of being cringe is what is holding you back.
Okay, you keep saying that. Cringe. What is that? What even is
Don't
that?
ask. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Can I do like an intimidation check, but not intimidating, but just looking at Soma enough to make him just so viscerally uncomfortable.
A cringe check?
Yeah.
I feel like that's not something I should set a precedent for in episode 1, but sure!
Let's see.
Go nuts!
Go ahead and do that.
Alright.
So
That was only a 12, but I just look at Soma and I give him like the Kubrick stare as just like a small child like this.
Ugh.
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
I think
that
I've got
sensation. That is cringe.
I don't like it.
I got a similar sensation when you asked for a milkshake at this ramen place.
It is just the breath of my power you are sensing.
Incredible. I would love to see how far your powers can expand.
In due time, H.A.D.E.S. In due time.
there's like an awkward pause after Lord Cringe just kind of solemnly says in due time. And after a couple seconds of this, you hear like a beeping sound from somewhere on Ronnie's person, and he pulls out his little disc thing and goes, oh, thank God. Just to have the conversation interrupted. And he taps a few things, and an audio message plays. Not like super loud, but enough that you guys at the table can hear it. And it seems to be just sort of a generic, like automated voice sending out an alert. It goes, all nearby agents be alerted that Firewheel has been sighted in the vicinity. Ronnie hears this for a second, goes, fucking Firewheel? How the hell did he get out?
Can I make a check?
You can make a check if you would like to make a check.
Is this anything to do with ancient Greece?
You can make a check if you would like.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna tell you until you
That's a 3.
you have no idea what Firewheel is.
Okay.
What, did a chariot catch fire? Is that what you do, ferryman? You clean up little messes?
Sure, you can call it that if you'd like. Anyway, it's probably not something we have to fucking worry about. I don't care about these little...
Can
stopped.
I actually do a history check?
Go ahead, yeah.
I want to see if I know who Firewheel is.
There's a non-zero chance you would, I guess.
That's a 12. So
12?
probably
No,
not.
no, you don't know this.
Roddy, please give a thorough description of Firewheel.
It doesn't fucking matter. He's a yokai. He's just causes problems. You call him a supervillain, I guess, low level. But you could call him that if you want. I've dealt with him before. His real name's Wanyudo. He's a fucking asshole. But I guess he got out of prison and is doing whatever
Visual
this shit.
description, please.
So you know
I
how
will
his name is.
locate-
You know how his name is Firewheel?
Mhm. Yes. Oh, I understand.
I want it put in the fucking after, in the edit, there's the Jeopardy theme right there.
It was like literally me as a person, just
It's
like,
like-
oh.
Well, the funny thing about that's about to get even funnier, because as Roddy like leans forward and starts to say something, presumably something else rude towards Lord Cringe, he looks up towards the other side of the restaurant, pauses for a second, and then goes, "You've got to be fucking kidding me."
Can I
love it.
And if you turn around, you can pretty easily see who he is presumably looking at. Notably, does not look like a wheel of fire, actually. Looks just like a guy. This is a yokai that has been said, so it is a like old, sort of like there's like feudal Japan looking guy.
Gotcha.
Just sort of dressed in that sort of attire, looks like that, looks fairly normal, but clearly Ronnie has recognized this man. And then if no one says anything, he just kind of like, without taking his eyes off, pulls out the disc and goes, "Yeah, don't worry about it, Riverboat's got it," puts it back, and then just looks over all you guys and goes, "Okay, so we're going to be a little bit delayed."
Oh dear.
You had to get food. You
Have
had
you
to get
sent
food.
Have you sent your steed to fight Firewheel instead of you?
His what?
Your steed.
My fucking...
Your ship.
It's a ship.
But you said Riverboat has it.
The fucking code name. That was like the...
Oh my
that was
God.
like the... that was the communicator. I was saying that the fucking... Okay, whatever. Anyway, look, this shouldn't take too fucking long. Theo, this is actually fucking great for you. This can be like your
Yes.
first real mission. Help me bring this guy. You bring in Firewheel on day one, you're set.
Soma stands up at the table. I can do it.
I stand up higher. I can do this.
You both...
Soma stands on the booth.
I'm on the table.
You
I
both...
can handle this just
Oh
fine.
my god. You both jump up. Everyone in the restaurant looks at you. Wanyudo looks over, sees Ronnie, and starts going for the door. At which point, Ronnie just thunks his head on the fucking table
Oh god.
for a second.
Get him off. I'll get him.
I say, Firewheel, halt! And I run after him.
Okay, so...
Jack's not moving at all. He's just gonna look at Ronnie and be like, "You had to give him a mission. You had to give him a job."
Look, don't blame me for these motherfuckers being so stupid.
I
And
have days, my G. We need to fucking figure this out.
this
We
guy,
handled in a matter of moments.
Jack, I beat Wanyudo with my fucking eyes closed. It's nothing. We got this in 10 fucking minutes. And
You've
then
been listening to them for the past hour? They're not gonna handle this.
20 minutes. He stands up, summons his oar again, and then just kind of angrily starts stomping towards the exit. If
Theo and Soma were
Yes.
absolutely racing to get to him
Racing,
first.
yeah.
you guys were racing to get to him first, just for my note, Lord Cringe and Jack, are you guys following this? Are you staying put? What's the deal?
I'm following.
Okay.
Okay. He
That's
went
so
at.
funny.
Who all is going after Firewheel at the moment?
Everyone but you, I think.
Okay, the second that Charon also gets up, Jack's gonna be like, fuck. He's gonna take one last drag of his cigarette, put it out on the table, and then get up and walk out. He's not running after shit, but he's gonna
Oh,
see what's happening.
the only two running are Theo and Soma, I think. Those are the only...
And sprinting.
So there was, I imagine, a very brief head start for Firewheel. As he saw you guys and then started edging, and then you guys were like jumping off the table and processing this. So by the time
Yeah.
you get out there, he is a little bit like down the street. Again, I don't think I described these streets super well, but I'll describe it here for now. So here's what you can visualize here. wall of buildings, solid wall of buildings on one side, a like what you would think of as like a normal street walkway that's kind of like a balcony that sticks out into the ravine, and then big gap, same thing on the other side. And this is replicated in layers above up to the surface, and then below very, very, very far down. And again, there are like stone bridges that cross over the gap at certain places, things like that, but that's basically where you're at. So, by the time everyone else gets out there, Firewheel is farther down this road, not super far, but he turns around to see everybody, most notably in his eyes, Ronnie, chasing after him. And you see from down this walkway, his body starts to contort. Then this form of a man starts bending over, unnaturally twisting his body into the shape of a cartwheel. His limbs go parallel, sticking out like wheel spokes, and his head snaps onto the side of the wheel. At which point he laughs maniacally, and this distorted body wheel ignites in flames.
Hence the name.
Jack
Hence
looks at
the
Ronnie
name.
like, what?
You heard his fucking name?
Yeah, I can't even get behind that. That wasn't cringe. That was just gross.
Anyway, a second after this, he turns parallel, and at great speed, since he is on fire, starts rocketing down the ravine, just rolling as fast as he can possibly go, with like clattering and sort of squishing sounds as the fleshy parts of his body keep impacting things. And Ronnie just kind of throws his hands out to the side, looking at everybody like, what are you waiting for? And books it back to the riverboat.
I could have caught him on foot if he didn't start cheating.
Turned into a wheel. I have 2 legs. To the ship.
I'm following Ronnie. I'm along for the ride here. This is my Uber. I need to figure this shit out.
I had my
This is my
chariot and my
Uber.
horse. This would be a different story.
Okay, so Ronnie, without saying a word to any of you, runs back into the ship, runs up into the cockpit. Assuming you guys all follow, you see him start to hit things on the sort of oblong control center again. But this time, rather than just kind of half-heartedly tapping some things and letting the ship go on autopilot, he steps forward, stands in the center of it. And if you look carefully, you can notice 2 sort of slots, one on either side. And he snaps his hands downward, summons both of his oars, and jams the oars into those slots before, without saying a word, slamming them both forward, and the ship starts going, entering essentially a chase sequence for this wheel.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I love the riverboat, man. We don't have art for the riverboat. I want someone to do art for it because it's a cool ship.
That sounds awesome.
Should this be where we take our break?
We can take, this would be a good time, yes, to take our break. Firewheel is off. You guys are in pursuit, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes.
Amazing.
Hold on, I reset my whole system, and I gotta remember, is it, okay, let me see. Is it? No, we got it, I got it. They can still hear me right now, but that'll turn off in a second. Hey, everybody. If you're new to the show, this is probably very weird, but if you've been here for a while, you know that a while ago when I was building my audio system, I did it wrong and didn't remove my mic on the pause screen. And that sort of evolved into a bit where you guys get a little secret DM chat. So what are you guys thinking? People call it Matt Chats, which is not a name that I came up with, but I do like it. And this does not go in the VOD, so this is a secret. What do you guys think so far? I mean, you know, we're only a little bit in. There's much more to go in this episode alone. And most of it has been character introductions so far. But what do you guys think? I love it so much. Brilliant campaign. I love it. I love it. So cool. Love all the tie-ins to so many cultures. Yeah, I did research. I did research for Agents of Hades, man. The riverboat is amazing. Ronnie as a New Yorker is great. Thank you. I know I've said this before, but it's more true now than it has ever been. Ronnie is my new favorite character I've ever made in D&D. I love him so much. He is so fun to play, and he's great. My mom says I turned the volume up, heard fleshy, and then turned the volume back down. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, there's so many messages. Oh my god, that's a good thing. So far, I really like this, but I'm waiting for the horror. Oh, yeah. No, you got a little... Again, it's been mostly character intros so far. You got the little gross sequence with Firewheel. I can give you guys a little bit of the mythology now, if you want. Again, I am going to do a whole mythology lecture when this series is done on Patreon. I'm going to do, like, a video where I take you through all of the real-world inspiration that I did that I drew from, because all of this stuff, it's very heavily modified to be a superhero setting, of course, but this is all drawing from real world mythos. And the Firewheel is an actual yokai. Now, it was in the original myth, I believe, just a guy with his head stuck to a cartwheel. I added the gross parts. But yeah, his name was the Firewheel, and before he died and got turned into a ghost, his name was Juan Yudo. And I was like, oh, that's great. That can be his supervillain thing. His name's Juan Yudo, and his code name is Firewheel. And I won't tell you too much more about him, because obviously he just showed up. But, I really like that Ronnie and Jack know each other when you'd expect the other Greeks to know him better. That is true. Hold on, the other people are getting back to the call now, and I gotta talk to them. So thanks for listening to the Matt Chat.
Here we go.
All right, and we are back from our break. How's everybody feeling so far? We're about halfway through episode 1, maybe a little under. How's everyone feeling?
Feeling alive or not?
Good.
I'm ready.
Yes, man. I was just saying this in the break, and I'm gonna say it again for the benefit of the audience. Now that I know everybody's vibes, I'm so curious to see how people are going to react to like specific things that'll be happening later down the line, because I knew everybody's concepts, but obviously like I didn't hear the voices, I didn't know the exact personalities you were going to be going in with, and so now I'm looking at my outline like, oh, that's going to be really funny to see how this one reacts, so that's going to be really funny. Yeah, it's going to be good. But before we get to all those things, you guys got a supervillain to catch.
Yes.
So,
and we will.
Where we last left off a couple minutes ago, the undead, or I guess just dead, supervillain known as Firewheel was rocketing down the streets of Urkala in his gross, fleshy, flaming wheel mode. And Ronnie had just jammed his oars into the riverboat, turned it to high speed, and is giving chase. Now, I want you all really quick to make me, just really for flavor more than anything else, a Dex saving throw. Just to see if you can keep stable, because he is not waiting for you to get to your seats.
You have +3 for your
60.
save.
Oh, score 19.
I think I get advantage on these because of a barbarian thing. Yes, danger sense.
I get something for these too. Hold on. Oh no, not for this.
Oh,
not for this.
Also, while people are doing saves, the link for the artist credit I was informed was broken. It is fixed now, so that will be going. That is going through the chat. That's why it wasn't appearing in the first half, is because I did it wrong. But now it's working. Anyway,
With the bonus from Lord Cringe, that is 17 for H.A.D.E.S.
I got a
That's gonna
14
be-
with
It's gonna be a
advantage.
5 for cringe. 5 for cringe.
and what did Jack get?
I got a 19.
A 19? Okay, so you guys are running up to the ship. Ronnie powers it into full forward and just continues following Firewheel. At some point down this ravine, Firewheel takes a quick turn into another adjacent ravine, one that crisscrosses. And following the controls that you would kind of expect for some sort of boat, Ronnie slams the oars in another direction, causing the whole thing to tilt. All of you keep your footing, except Lord Cringe, who just goes flying across the cockpit. To that, Ronnie actually responds, not looking back, but in a surprisingly casual tone, just goes, "Don't spill anything on my fucking ship."
Lord Cringe, keep your footing, boy!
I can't. I'm stuck to the wall because of the centrifugal force.
I don't know what that is, but get your sea legs on you, lad.
Like,
That's old! Get a goddamn seatbelt on!
I like pull myself off of the wall and army crawl to a chair.
The ship stabilizes fairly quickly as it continues its pursuit of the escaping wheel. And Ronnie, still fully in like ace pilot mode, keeps talking to you guys casually without looking back. So, have any of you guys ever fought a supervillain before? Jack, I know you've done some shit, but what about the rest of you?
Very low level, not too inconsequential villain, yes. You're looking
Shut
right
the
at him.
I was going to say those didn't exist during our time, but now you're just being the bitch.
Oh, I'm learning the terminology of the time. You might have been a villain, Soma, but you definitely weren't a super one.
Damn!
Yeah, you see Ronnie from the back just goes like, okay.
I just turn to Jack and I just say,
You know, the thing about the Greeks is that they were just incredibly sassy.
I learned everything I know from Plato. Notoriously sassy.
Oh, that egghead.
I want to.
Excellent wrestler.
I was,
Little known fact.
I was about to say, like, you call him an egghead. This is not Agents lore. This is real life lore. Plato was buff as hell. That is 100% real. The name Plato is his. It is not his
broad.
real name. It is his wrestling nickname. That is
He was
actually
like an
real.
Olympic wrestler.
No one knows what
Yeah.
Plato's real name was because he was referred to by the nickname he earned in wrestling. That sounds fake. Look it up. I swear that is true.
And he taught me everything I know.
Yeah, they had a real flair for the dramatics.
That's true. that is true. I mean, I can't say anything about it. It feels like a bit, but it is very true. Anyway, Ronnie keeps kind of going. He doesn't speak for another second, but I guess we should figure out a fucking game plan for this sort of thing. I mean, if you guys are gonna fucking help, because you're on the ship, you're gonna pull your goddamn weight. So we're just gonna wait till he burns himself out. Usually doesn't take that long, and then we're gonna corner him, and then we're gonna get off the ship. We're either gonna take him in peacefully, or we're gonna kick his ass. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
I can work with it.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. And then he shuts up and continues piloting. Once again, you guys can talk for a minute if you would like, but remember you are on an actively, very quickly moving ship. But if there's nothing that you want to say here, I'll give you a second if you would like to. But
Ronnie, does this thing have a loudspeaker?
I think
Well, Theo's pretty fucking loud.
actually, you know what? Actually, Ronnie kind of says, "Oh yeah, it does. I guess I fucking could try that." He hits a button on the thing, and then just shouts full volume into some sort of mic. "Want you though, you piece of fucking shit! Stop running away so we can kick your ass!"
He screams back in
Did it work?
Japanese.
Yeah, you hear some very faint, angry Japanese from the. I guess I mean same language. So you hear just some curse words with a Japanese accent, I guess. As he continues rolling, it does not work, and then Roddy actually just goes, "Yeah, there was no way that was gonna work."
Excuse me, let me try it on for size.
Hell no. Hell no. He takes an oar out of the console, causing the ship to like turn and like pokes you back with it as you approach the console and then sticks it back in.
Can I do some kind of dexterity thing to hit the button?
You can certainly try.
All right. Was that be a dex check? Would that be
give me-
acrobatics?
I think it's probably just a flat dex.
All right. Flat dex. That is a 13.
A 13. I will roll opposed. Oh no. You
man.
take a step and are immediately just jabbed back into your seat. Actually, you know what? For flavor, just so I can go ahead and confirm this, he takes the oar out, drops it, it flies, pokes you back in the seat, and then returns to his hand like Mjolnir, and he stabs it back in.
That was cool as fuck.
You've seen me do that before.
I know, and it never stops being fucking cool.
Eventually, on this flight, it takes a couple, maybe like a minute. If this was an animated series, this would be a very cool chase scene, but that's kind of hard to do in a D&D live play show. Eventually, you go deeper into a lower layer of Urkala. Not one of these super, super low ones that are still far below you that you cannot see. But a lower layer that is a little bit less nice. And you can see out the window that the flames surrounding Firewheel have started to dim a little bit as he approaches what does seem to be a dead end. And Ronnie kind of maneuvers the ship into position. As Firewheel approaches the end of this, his fire goes out completely. And he frantically looks around as the riverboat starts, closing in on his location. Sees a person, just a random person walking by, leaps over to them, holds up a hand that immediately starts burning, and slams it into their face. And with a shriek of pain that you can hear from the ship, their body erupts into flames as well, scorching them, melting their dead flesh, and kind of just leaving them a twitching pile on the ground. As one, draws that fire into himself, reignites his flames, and starts going again. Everyone make a perception check, real quick.
Alrighty.
My perception is.
Hey, it's 21.
That'd be a 10.
21 is more than enough.
And a 24, yeah.
Okay, a 24 is even better. Ronnie does not stop the riverboat as this happens, but as you look by, that body is definitely still alive. He did not kill that person. This is the afterworlds. You can't die. That person he just melted into a burning corpse is still twitching and screaming and crying on the ground.
Great.
Ronnie sees you guys, notices, and goes, "Oh yeah, this is your first time seeing that shit, huh? You can't die down here."
Some fate's worse than death.
Yep,
That's horrible.
And that, my golden boyfriend, is why we have the fucking H.A.D.E.S agency.
Let's get this guy. How about?
Like that? Are they just like that now, or?
Yep.
Forever?
Some of them you can fix, some of them you can't. I'm not entirely sure how Firewheel shit works, but you can't fix all of them.
Tell me that all of the people that I've exercised don't end up like that for my own conscience's sake.
What sort of shit do you do to exercise people?
You know what I fucking do.
I'm gonna shut up for your consciousness' sake.
Great. Alright, well, we'll deal with that one when I actually die.
Also, I want to point out, someone in chat said there's gods of healing and medicine and shit. Not in Urkala. Not in this, like, blank, flat, gray, like, purgatory-esque plane. Not here, there's not.
Are we on the ground now to see that guy?
You pass him. You see this out the windshield as you pass. Ronnie does not even slow down.
Yeah,
Like, he is
surely someone should help.
wildly unfazed by this. And with that little horror passed by in the rear view mirror, essentially. Fortunately, this did take a little bit of time for Firewheel. He did lose some speed while he was turning this person into a screaming, melted mass. And he has reached the end of this sort of balcony into the end of the ravine. And while he turns to maybe turn around and do sort of a U-turn escape, he is quickly met with the rapidly sort of turning around shape of the riverboat. As Ronnie presses a button to lower the ramp down and then quickly runs down to stand on it, overlooking the form of Firewheel on this thing. You guys are welcome to follow if you would like.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Headlong.
So at this point, we get
Let's go.
for maybe the briefest of seconds before someone does something to ruin it, the first sort of team shot of our whole cast standing on the descending ramp of the riverboat, hovering in this ravine, looking down at this sort of mutilated, twisted, flaming monstrosity that has just put somebody into eternal torment. Now, I gotta be in character here. Ronnie is gonna say something first, or at least would like to. But since I do think it would probably happen, are Theo and/or Soma just gonna jump at this guy the second they have the opportunity?
100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
I figured. I did figure
not
that
running
was going to
anymore?
be.
He stopped
There is he is at the end of this ravine, and the riverboat is large. And also, I'll go ahead and say this: if you're looking at it, presumably armed. You've not seen Ronnie use any weapons on it, but like it presumably does have some sort of weapons. And if he tries to sneak by, he's going to get obliterated. So, I mean, if you guys are just jumping at him, just headlong, we're going to need everybody to roll initiative.
Here we go.
All right.
Let's fucking go.
Let's do this. Now I do amazingly actually have maps prepared. What about why is,
Ooh, nat 20.
that crazy?
Oh my
So everyone.
Take that, fucking Soma.
Also,
Shot his ass.
yeah, you are going. That's actually wild. I was setting up the map, but I didn't process what that meant. That's hilarious.
I get advantage on initiative. I got an 11.
Oh my god.
Why?
Okay.
Perhaps if you lived a more virtuous life.
Now, I
Shut your
do...
fucking mouth.
Actually, hold on. For the sake of...
Perhaps if you were a better person, you could throw hands faster.
I'm actually going to go ahead and put us back on this screen very briefly because I realized that if I accidentally misclick when I'm setting up the window capture, I might spoil something. So I'm going to set this up on a different screen, and then we're going to go to the Roll20. So give me just a second as we set this up. And I actually found maps that like pretty well represent what this area would look like, which is very nice. Okay, let's see. Window capture. I would have set this up beforehand, but I couldn't because I didn't have the stuff ready to go. And I have also, by the way, guys, I have put the Roll20. We're using a new Roll20. I don't know if I told everybody that. I told some of you. But we're using a new Roll20 that is in the Agents of Hades chat that we now have. So you guys should be able to find that, hopefully.
And I did not click the link because I was just like, why would I need to have combat in the first episode? That's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys right now, this fight was avoidable, but nah.
Hey man, you tell two Greek warlords to
They immediately stood up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew.
Guy.
It was avoidable at the start. It was avoidable at the start of the episode. It's not really as avoidable now. I knew it wasn't going to be avoidable now.
Hey, you want that job? Fucking sick 'em. I was like,
oh, is that gonna? Oh, nope, that brought it. Okay.
But
well,
I want that job. Fuck you.
we're just gonna use this. All right. So let me put your tokens in here. Here will be 1 H.A.D.E.S. This is a fairly small area. I'll see if I can make the grid a little bit less. Why is this covering up half the cameras? Hang on. I got it. Now, we do not have custom art for 1 H.A.D.E.S, but what I did do is pull from the actual yokai art, like the actual, like, the old drawing of the yokai itself, so that a more body horror version of this is essentially what he looks like. He is backed against this wall in the background here. Now I have put in, it's very hard to see against the background, but we'll make it work. That is Jack. For future episodes, I will give you a more notable background panda. Ronnie's actually probably going to be a little bit hard to see too. Ronnie will be in the center. And then as we get the rest of the character art, I will put that in, but for now I will use tokens. Cringe is green, so Cringe will be green. Theo has a gold border on the screen, so he will be a yellow. Actually, wait, Soma should be green. Soma should be green.
Yeah,
I was about to say, yeah.
I am green man.
You are the green man. Momo, what color do you want for Cringe?
I'll be blue.
You'll be blue? All right.
oh, I don't think I ever mentioned, but because we don't have art yet, I'll say this.
Yo, yeah, if you have anything you want to say.
Blonde, long, slick back, blonde hair, and a beard going on. By the way, just putting that out there.
Soma has long red hair.
Ooh.
Long red. Okay, cool.
All right.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and say I put all of your tokens on here just kind of arbitrarily. I am giving you all control over them now, but you guys can move them around a little bit from, this... I don't have the riverboat on this map, but this is like the pit down to the lower layers. This back area here. So this is where the riverboat is parked, or hovering. You guys can maneuver yourselves a little bit where you would like to go. I just put you on a line for convenience. And then I will take down your initiatives, and we will get to the first combat of Agents of Hades. Very quick, but I'm also not at all surprised. Okay, and that is centered enough on the screen. So what I'm going to do here for my sake is open up another... Actually, you know what? It'll be easier if I just do this on my phone. I won't have to worry about different screens. Okay, what was everybody's initiative? I think I probably know who's going first, because I do recall that Theo did get a nat 20. So let's...
that is true.
Theo with the nat 20. What did everybody else get?
I got a 19.
A 19.
I
That's probably
forgot what
second.
I rolled, and I don't remember where I could.
You can redo it if you'd like.
Okay, it was either a 14 or a 15, and I don't remember which one. All right, that's now a 19.
Who has the higher dex bonus then? Of you and Jack.
+3.
That's probably higher. Panda, what's your dex bonus?
My dex bonus is +0, so I got a 19 plus nothing.
Okay, so then you are actually not second. That would be Lord Cringe. And then remind me of the exact number. I know you're last in the player order, Mike, but remind me of the exact number for enemy purposes.
11.
11. All right, let me roll for, well, I guess not just enemies. Ronnie is not your enemy. He might not be your friend, but he's not your enemy. And he is going last. Probably by his own choice, if we're being lore accurate. He's going to let you guys do the work. Let's see what Juan Yudo's doing, though. Oh, Juan Yudo. Yeah, okay, wow. I keep alternating between Juan Yudo and Firewheel. To be clear, Juan Yudo's his real name. Firewheel's his supervillain name. I have them both written down. That's from the actual mythology too. I said this in the little intermission that you guys didn't hear, but basically before he turned into a yokai, he was a guy and his name was Juan Yudo, and then he turned into a yokai and his yokai name is Firewheel. Anyway, this is our battlefield. Again, you should all have control of your characters. You should be able to move them. And Theo, you are first up.
Fantastic. I am here to get a job.
Yes.
I was told I get to show out if I handle this situation. So immediately I'm whipping out my demigod powers. That's just what I'm doing.
Going all in right from the start. Love it.
Are we like on the ground or are we still like on the ramp? Like running.
I will give you, if you would like to start your turn on the ramp, you can, because the ramp is not on this map.
Yeah. But
yeah, the riverboat would be out here. And notably, this is, again, a big pit, big ravine. Yeah. And also, technically, for these are going to be, like, buildings. These are these sort of stone-carved buildings as well.
Got it. I'll probably approach front and center, not having to get too close, because I don't need to. I have my sword, my circular sword, and my circular shield, and my short sword at hand. And I point the sword at Firewheel and say, "Stop this nonsense now, foul beast!" and cast Hold Monster.
Okay.
On him. Or if DM ruling if Hold Person would work better here, I have both.
Given that this is a homebrew setting where I am using sort of weird stuff, he is, by like actual mythos, a yokai, so I will allow Hold Monster to work.
So he has to make a wisdom save of 17.
A wisdom save of 17. He is not going to make that.
And so what you see is, I think, spectral, like, golden chains pierce out from my sword and just wrap around Firewheel and tighten. And he is, let's see, what does that actually do? Paralyzed for the duration. So he's under the paralyzed effect. At the end of each of its turn, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends.
Since this is horror, we'll go into some detail of that. These chains wrap around him, and you can see, after this happens, he tries to sort of unfold back into his more humanoid form, which does not work. And you can see his body kind of unfold, hit the chains, and sort of warp and crack around them before condensing back into his wheel form. But yeah, I mean, that worked.
I go, there you have it, Ronnie. Job finished. I have captured this foul beast. And turn.
Okay, so yeah, the funny thing about this is, well, I mean, technically, his turn is next. I don't think anyone should be surprised that the wheel man has high dex. But yeah, his turn is next. So it's a wisdom save at the end of each of his turns, yes?
It's a wisdom save. I just closed it. Wisdom save. Target can make another at the end of each of his turns. Yes.
At the end of each of his turns. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you this. You see him kind of try to struggle, but you don't even need to do a roll for this. It's pretty easy to tell that, like, when he is in wheel form, most of his attacks are going to be movement based. And therefore paralyzing him, very effective counter to Firewheel's the whole deal. And so he is just going to go ahead and try to make that wisdom save, which he is going to get a nat 1 on.
Okay.
At which
The
point,
gods have graced us this day.
at which point, Ronnie, for the first time you've seen him, actually does look mildly impressed. He goes, okay, that wasn't fucking bad. Goddamn.
Wow.
Thank you. That's what you get from someone from Elysium.
I see why you got to Elysium. That was very impressive.
That was pretty dope.
Soma, how are you
Yeah,
feeling
that's
about
right.
this literally flawless performance from Theo right off the bat?
All I hear is slurping noises from you ingrates.
now, now it is technically Lord Cringe's turn next, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, like, he is in a state where you can attempt to bring him in. Remember, this was an avoidable combat, so the fact that you went into this and so solidly and not with you captured him pretty quick. Now, there's obviously a chance that he might break out, but if you guys want to try to capture him now, that is entirely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we should. I refuse to wail on someone who is bound. So
You caught him.
we got him.
We
This is-
saw what happens when you fuck up someone down here. I don't want to do that to someone.
Can we fit him on the ship
okay.
like this? Can we just
I-
reel him in?
I'm gonna need everyone who is going to help capture him to just give me a flat strength check to make sure that you can just sort of get him on. Ronnie will help with this as well. But
Holy shit! I got a nat 20.
the skeleton man. Also, I spent more time setting up that combat than we spent on the combat. But yeah, like that's set
So fast.
again.
They
Avoidable
got
say that I
combat.
got- Oh, great.
Hey, ties.
22 for my strength.
I mean,
In contrast to my performance on the battlefield, I got a nat 1 on my strength check.
Aye.
well, the nat 20 from Jack is enough. That said, Jack, are you just like kind of trying to roll him into the ramp?
Yeah, I mean, he caught him, and I don't think I feel heat. So I will grab him, and I'm just kind of pushing the wheel. And I'm like, I didn't even want to do this shit. Why the fuck am I the one who's got to put the goddamn wheel in the fuck?
As you start wheeling Firewheel up the ramp, him again just yelling a constant stream of, like, when I say curses, I mean like old, like thousands of year old, more like literal curse your bloodline type curses at you. Again, because of the everyone sort of magically speaks the same language in the underworlds, but like very, very thick accent, man, just yelling at you as you sort of push him onto the ship. So you can understand him, which I'm sure is great. But as you get him close, Ronnie like jumps in front of you, sticks an aura, and goes, no. If you bring him inside, he's gonna get scorch marks all over the inside of the fucking ship.
Then we're
And you suggest?
I got some chains in there. We just tie him to the outside.
Do they have humane laws down here? That sounds incredibly fucked up.
A scream from the burnt human echoes down the ravine as you say that.
I'm gonna stop myself right there. I heard it as soon as I said it, and I start rolling him back down the ramp.
Roll him back down the ramp. Ronnie kind of jogs back into the ship, grabs some chains, and then does he actually? You know what? I'll take this opportunity to show off something else cool that he can do. He is going to instead of tying Firewheel to the ship directly, he kind of takes out one of his oars, spins it around, and points it. And a jet of like murky water shoots out the end, envelops the chains and Firewheel himself, and carries him up to the ship, tying him on sort of telekinetically with that.
Nice.
At which point he just kind of claps his hands and goes, 10 minutes, what'd I fucking tell you?
Fantastic.
I don't suppose we could.
I will
swing
grant
by
you that.
I don't suppose we can swing by and help the person that is on fire still.
I mean, if you want to have a screaming body on the ship for the rest of the ride back.
I believe I can help with their unfortunate situation.
You can by all means try, little lizard freak. And if you want, he will take you and the ship back a little bit along the ravine, and then open the hatch again next to this person.
I do want to say, as we get onto the ship after this, Theo is going to pass Soma, give him a clap on the shoulder, and be like, maybe next time, cousin, and not in a thing of kindness, but absolutely in a thing of like sassiness, give him guidance as he claps him on the shoulder. So he has a D4 he can add. Like, maybe next time. So
oh boy.
Don't enter a war you can't win, boy.
I don't say anything. I just walk on.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. You pretty much jumped off the boat, tied that combat up in about 4 seconds. And yeah, so Soma, this is not a great look for you right off the bat, I fear.
Whatever vignette we're going to next, Soma's just stewing in the chair.
I mean, I believe the next thing is just like Lord Cringe, if you want to get off the ship and inspect this sort of like mass that is just laying on this sort of stone road, kind of like crying and screaming every so often.
I go over to the former mortal and I say, being defeated by a foe that we took down in 4 seconds was pretty cringe. And I do lay on hands, and I give him like 20 points of healing.
Okay. Nothing.
Don't be cringe. You can't die from this.
Changes.
Really?
At this point, I'm gonna tease something. I'm not gonna reveal it entirely, but I'm gonna tease something because I'm sure people have been wondering how we were going to handle this. Death mechanics work differently in this campaign. I have made my own system for death mechanic. Oh, you know what? Screw it. I'll go ahead and tell you what the death mechanic system is. Why not?
Here we go.
So there is a new thing that we are going to be doing in Agents of Hades mechanics wise. We are using 5e for those who are wondering. I ideally wanted to do this on a superhero system, but we already had so many new variables with me trying to do new stuff and new tech and a new homebrewed world. I didn't want to add a new variable of a system, so we're just doing heavily homebrewed 5e. And part of that homebrew is something that I'm calling the spirit save. Certain enemies in this campaign have abilities that will force you to make something called a spirit save. Here's the good news, right?
Okay.
Here's the good news. When you get reduced to 0 hit points, you don't die. You can keep fighting for as long as you damn well please when you get reduced to 0 hit points. And your spirit save is plus 20. So that's pretty good, right? Spirit saves plus 20. Here's the catch. When you get to 75% HP, your spirit save is plus 15. When you get to 50% HP, it's plus 10. When you get to 25% HP, it's plus 5. If you get to 0 HP, you have no bonus to your spirit save. Don't fail your spirit saves. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, the corpse does not heal. If this thing is healable, it is going to take something much stronger than what you have available right now. And with that, I mean, that, there's a good little bit of mechanic foreshadowing there. Anyway.
All right. So
you getting
still burning?
You getting back on the ship,
Yeah,
or
I have him outside the ship now, and I'm looking up at the riverboat like, I can't fucking lift him. I don't know what you guys want me to do.
Unfortunately, it seems like there's something off with the underworld.
I am also gonna say, remember, Ronnie was not fazed by this. This is not some sort of, special circumstance. This is why the agency exists. Is because there is shit down here that can do very, very, very bad things. This is not new.
Gotcha.
This is the world of Urkala, right? This is the world that this campaign is existing in. So if you were just gonna leave this this unfortunate casualty on the walkway, not much else you can do. You guys getting back on the ship?
I guess so.
I never left.
As we get on, I want to be like talking with Ronnie about my new job prospect. Like, so how was the performance?
Badass, man. Hell yeah. Fucking nailed it.
Incredible. So I will be put in good favor with the agents of Hades, ideally.
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm about to go put in the fucking call that we got the guy. So I'll mention your name, which was...
H.A.D.E.S.
Right. One more time?
H.A.D.E.S.
Okay. He does not repeat it back to you. He probably remembers it. But either way, you can assume that whatever vaguely insulting nickname he decides to give you in the moment will be identifying enough that it works. And so,
Right.
all of you get back on the ship. Ronnie sets some controls on the riverboat, much like he did the first time, autopilot. He goes, I'm going to take us back above ground level this time so I don't have to worry about flying in. And I'm going to go make the call that we got the guy, just bureaucratic bullshit. Let me know if any shit goes down. And then he walks into another room, presumably to go and make this report. So you guys have the cockpit.
I would say Theo is a little actually wary right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he did his augury earlier, it was wheel and woe.
That is true.
And, currently there's been quite a lot of wheel and a lot of woe.
When you... I'm gonna sidebar very quick for a second. When you said wheel, my brain did go, how does he know about that? Oh, different wheel. When you said it, I was like, oh, W-E-A-L, not the other guy. Yeah, you're right. Quite a bit of wheel.
Multiple wheels. Lots of wheel for me and not woe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wary right now, but I am prideful of my job that I did today.
I mean, if you guys want to make a perception check for outside, you can. I bring it up just because you're wary.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
For sure. I will absolutely do that. That is perception. Just 14.
Yeah, 14. I mean, if you look out the cockpit, you can see you're above now, so you can see the big cracks in the ground, and then the big spire that is the Agent HQ, and you can kind of see it sort of bathed in light.
Okay. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
I have known Ronnie long enough to not fuck with his ship.
Yeah.
I am sitting in my seat. I am smoking my cig, and I am waiting for us to get the fuck out.
Valid.
I would like to do an insight check on Soma.
Okay.
Actually, because I'm aware what I did at the end was mean, but also I mainly want to see if it's getting to him. That is 26 on insight for Soma.
Pretty good. I feel like the answer is going to be
I'm
pissed.
better than this. I'm better than him. I'm better than this. I'm better than this anxiety, this fear, this feeling of inferiority. I'm better than this. I can get better than him. I will plot. I will plan. I will do everything I need to. But he's just sitting with his arms folded, staring forward.
Cool.
But you can read. You've known him for so long. You can read every individual thought.
Yeah. I'm looking at that,
face.
and I'm like, I crack a smirk. I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh, he's so pissed. He's so pissed.
Oh, I'm so pissed.
Fucking hate that guy.
I love the thought that in his head he's just, oh god, I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed right now.
I'm so pissed right now.
It's just on loop in his brain. If no one else has any conversation, if you want to have any conversation, this trip back will take a couple minutes. Does anyone want to have any conversations on the way back other than that?
Soma's not in a conversating mood.
I did not assume so.
I'm under the impression that I am on my way to getting the fuck out of here. So I'm like, all right, I did the little fucking errand. We need to fucking go.
I'm on the same impression too. I was like, cool, never gonna see these guys again.
On that note, then, I want everyone to make a history check for me.
I'm surprisingly not that good at history.
So many 9s and 8s.
10.
10?
18.
10.
18? Oh, that's okay. That's actually fitting. 18 is enough, and it makes sense that it would be Theo. Theo, what did I say you saw a second ago?
Cracks in the ground.
And?
Light.
What did I say about Urkala at the beginning of this episode?
Oh, fuck.
There is no natural light in Urkala. Why the hell is the agency, like, bathed in shining light out the windshield of this ship?
Ooh. Hey, Ronnie.
Ronnie calls back from the other room. What?
No, I'm not from here, but there's quite a bit of light that wasn't here before. Is that normal?
He starts kind of walking out of the thing. He's like, I don't know. They didn't fucking answer my call anyway, so I don't know what the hell's going. What the fuck? As he looks out the window and sees the light.
I mean, light. I love light.
I don't know what the fuck that shit is either. So that's...
Oh.
He trails off and books it to the control panel where he starts just touching a bunch of buttons that you do not know the meaning of. I want everybody to make a perception check as he does this.
Okay. Let's see. I'm liking this dice.
Nope.
I got a 6.
I got a 21.
Man, Theo knew some shit was gonna go down and was prepared. Okay. You hear a scream from outside, roughly in the place where you tied Firewheel.
I think someone should perhaps check on Firewheel.
Ronnie's busy. He is not paying attention to what is going on behind him.
Can I open the bay doors and see him?
Yeah,
is there a window in the back?
You can open the bay doors and see where he is tied. You'll have to get him, which you'll have to do. You'll have to try to get him, but you can see him.
Is anything happening to him?
He's screaming. That's about all that you can really tell from where you're at. He's again chained up. He's in still kind of in wheel mode.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Ah! What'd I just say?
I can't understand you when you're screaming, Firewheel.
I'm not gonna scream into the mic again, but you know what happens.
I might have a spell for this. Hold up.
A spell to decipher screaming?
I was checking to see if I have calm emotions.
If you want to, you know what? I'll give you the spell to decipher screaming. It means, pain, bad, hurts.
Got it. I'm gonna do a weird thing right now, which is gonna be weird because we're in a homebrew setting.
Okay.
So I want you to determine this however you would deem fit. I'm sure you're gonna get what I'm going for.
Okay.
I want to cast Detect Evil and Good.
I also want to point out everybody's really mad at me for screaming. I'm sorry, I didn't know how loud it was going to be with the new audio setup. Anyway.
Oh, we on Discord didn't hear it, but I forgot
it cut out.
It cut out. Oh, I actually did scream. Yeah. I actually did scream.
I thought the joke was that it cut.
No, I screamed.
Okay.
I'm glad I brought that up. I never would have known that you guys didn't actually hear it. Yeah, he screamed.
Never mind. I'm not going to cast that because it's only within 30 feet and the shit's happening all around us. I'm just going to
he's within 30 feet.
Well, he's probably evil, and I could assume that by
you did see him
myself
kill a guy.
spell
Not
slot.
kill, but mutilate a guy.
I mean, fuck. Ronnie already told us not to bring him in, so I'm going to go back inside and tell Ronnie,
Again, Ronnie is, I'm just going to go ahead and say, is ignoring you. He is doing a lot. If you want to try to perception as to what exactly he's doing, you can.
Yeah, sure.
But I will say it is computer-y stuff. So for you specifically, it's going to be hard to parse.
I'll roll disadvantage on it, but I'll still try. 10?
No. He's pushing buttons.
Okay.
The last time you remembered, canoes didn't have buttons. So this is
What's a
some
button?
nonsense.
All right. Well, we got the bad guy. I'm out of my element here. I don't really know what to do. I'm like rural farm kid, fields of Elysium for 2,000 years. I don't know what's going on.
The screaming continues. I want to note, it is possible for you guys to get him down. You do not have to. But it's not like he's like way up there where you cannot reach him. You could get him down if you wanted, or you can leave him. Again, not pushing you either way, but that screaming keeps going.
I imagine it's like having to pull him in sort of thing. But I would need help from others to do that probably, and the only person I feel comfortable asking is Jack.
Yeah, he's gonna help.
Okay. I won't even make you do a check for that. You pull Juanito in, and the chains kind of come undone as you do that, but like he pops back into his more humanoid form and just kind of lays on the ground, gasping and screaming. Not as screaming as much. Like it seems like whatever was hurting him is not actively hurting him anymore. But he's still, he just got a lot of pain. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Notably though, his face is way more pale than it was when you saw him last. His skin had kind of a reddish tint to it because he's like a fire guy. It is far more pale, almost white. And notably, just his head.
Listen, I've dealt with a lot of demons before. They're not supposed to look like that.
As you stare down at this body, his eyes start to bulge out of his head. And that is followed up by more bulges appearing on his face in a sort of X-like pattern. So his eyes bulge, and the other pattern lumps upon his head start forming.
Okay.
Before those lumps, with another shriek, open up into more eyes. And as you watch this in horror, you see lines form around those eyes that, with a disgusting, wet, fleshy noise, physically tear themselves off of his face, turning into orbiting rings of eyes that circle around his head. And as he screams in utter agony, his mouth expands with the shriek, filling his entire face, until what once was his head is just a white mass with a single gaping maw, as the screams turn from the sounds of a pained person into almost feedback, like a whining, almost chorus-like sound. And as he writhes on the ground, white wings burst forth from his back as he continues to shriek. And I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative again.
Oh
shit. You had to pull me out here. You had to have me on the front fucking line.
You guys thought that first Firewheel fight was easy? It was a little bit of a fake out.
19.
Well, I'm a little caught off guard this time. I only got a 7.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah, now give me a second to set this up here. Also, by the way, everyone in the cockpit, this is happening down near the exit. You hear this. You hear the screams turning into this piercing, almost choral note that is like, like feedback loop from broken headphones in your ears. Yeah. So, everyone who was not there, you guys going down? You give me that info as I set up this map for us all here.
Yeah. I'm assuming I have a question. So I don't know if there's like some sort of, actually I do have that. I do have divine sense.
Okay.
So I was just kidding. It is an action. I thought it was not an action. Ignore me. I'm gonna do it on my turn.
Okay. Let's see. So there, and then
quite literally the wheel, and now here's the wall.
Yes. Yep, here's that. Actually, that might. You know what, Nathan?
That's great.
The wheel and the woe is, I think, going to be the episode title. I think that's
Episode
gotta be.
one,
I think
Wheel and
that's
Woe.
gotta be the episode title. That is wheel like WHEEL, because people will see that and be like, they spelled it wrong, and then watch the episode and be like, oh. All right, let's see. Now this map, I'm realizing, is a little bit darker than I originally thought it was, but it will still work. So I know the audience cannot see this yet. I'm giving all the players control, but you can kind of see here, and the audience will see in a moment. That the exit is on the left, and then the stairs on the right that the other people are coming down from are on the right. Again, I know it's dark. The riverboat is fairly dark, but it should serve the purpose. Let me give Mike and Momo control over their tokens, and then I will get those initiatives from everybody. Let's go over to this fight. Yeah, there we go. It saved my settings. Perfect. So, yeah, what were those initiatives? What were those initiatives for everybody?
I only got a 7.
A 7. All right, you caught off guard. That does make sense.
Caught off guard.
I got an 8.
Now I am gonna say, you guys, it's probably gonna take you a round to get there. But I will put you in the initiative order like usual. But you're gonna have a round. You will arrive on the second round. What about the rest of you?
I got
19.
19 and 18. Okay, cool. So then that would be Jack and Soma. And then let me roll for this. He got a nat 20.
Fuck you.
He got a nat 20. So,
Fortunate.
I mean, it does logically make sense. How do we want to start this fight here? You know what? We'll do it like that. So this thing that was once Firewheel, again, a brief description, body the same except for the wings bursting out of its back, but then with a very distinct separation at the neck, his head has been turned into this just mutilated eldritch who fucking knows. And he kind of picks himself up off the ground, still making this droning, ringing sound. And his wings fold to cover his new face, so you cannot see it for a brief moment. And he stands there, almost twitching, before the wings burst open, and he shrieks even louder. Both the people who are there, so that would be Jack and Theo, you guys are going to need to make me con saves.
Okay.
Saves.
18.
18?
17.
You are both fine. You were in this space with, enclosed space with this noise for a while. I assume both of you were kind of already covering your ears or the place that ears are on a skeleton head. So while you can definitely hear the oh shoot, sorry, I just totally messed up the formatting on this. I clicked the wrong button. I'll get that as we're going. So yeah, while you do hear this sound, it does not cause you any sort of physical pain. And then this thing, actually, you know what? He's not going to move. That was his action. The thing that was once Firewheel just stands there, twitching every so often. Notably, wings folded back to cover the face after the shriek is done, though still very loud, but the lesser droning sound is still continuing onwards. Jack!
Their eyes still orbiting
yeah.
over the place.
When this thing, the wings cover its face, but when it's opened, it is a giant gaping mouth with then 2 rings of realistic orbiting eyes that are just going in sort of concentric circles around it. And blinking sporadically, real gross.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
I said horror.
Yeah, you did.
And this is episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Panda, you're up.
Yep, I am currently looking through my giant fucking spell list to try to
I
figure
got
out
one
what the hell to
too.
do.
I'm trying to
Jack
figure
pulls
out
out a notebook and is like,
both,
fuck.
Yeah, I'm a fucking conjurer for the first time.
I whip out a
not sure what the
scroll.
fuck to do. Okay. Fuck me. Let's see.
Does horror also mean extra deadly combats?
Maybe.
technically not deadly.
Yeah, Mike makes a great point.
Worse than death.
Again,
Let's see
also,
if I
by
can.
the way,
I'm gonna try and.
real quick before I forget, to keep it a surprise, I did not tell you guys about the spirit save mechanics beforehand. If you would like, I can go through all of your HP later and like calculate the 75, 50. Okay, I was about to say if you don't want to. Okay, yeah. Because I didn't want to tell you guys to do that in advance because I didn't want to ruin the surprise that we're doing something weirder. Anyway, Panda, what were you gonna do?
I'm gonna try and turn the angel into a pixie, and I'm gonna use reduce and try and make him smaller.
Okay.
Because I see the fucking horror show in front of me, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm trying to get it as small as possible.
Big
all right.
problem, small problem.
So it is it's a concentration spell. It says, I think they have to make a save.
Probably.
Yeah, save. It's a con save of 16. So try it out. 16.
I'm also gonna. I don't think you guys are gonna be able to see this because it's not gonna focus. But I'll post a picture later. I'm using my slasher dice. So they got like knives on them and blood splat. Oh yeah, Panda, you were with me when I got these. I got my metal Halloween dice here. I've been saving these. I've been saving these for spooky times. Anyway, you said con save of 16 is going to succeed that.
God damn it. Spell has no effect. I try, doesn't work. Fuck. Okay.
Actually, for the sake of again horror, you see the body like almost flicker and sort of shrink and grow rapidly before it again just bursts back to full form and screeches again.
Gotcha. I see that. I turned to God damn it, I can't remember your name. Theo. I turned to Theo and I'm like, all right, hero, it's your turn. And I like get away. I try and back up as much as possible.
Valid.
I'm gonna just back up a little bit. There. Okay, I need to get some distance for spells. You got this, hero.
Hero, yes.
Let's see. So next would be Soma, but you guys are getting their next round, so then it does go to Lord Cringe and then Theo.
So who's up?
You're up. The other two are next in the order, but they're getting their next round.
But they're not getting here till next round.
They take their turns running down, and then they will get here next round.
God, clerics have so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
I want to point out, I don't think
with exactly one plan in mind.
I know we
This is
talked
my
about
moment.
this. I know we talked about this before we went live, but I don't think we actually ever said it on the live. Just for note, because it's a fun little fact, every player in this campaign is playing a class they have never touched before. So there is going to be a learning curve to everyone's kits, because everyone's doing, which is great. I love everyone doing something new. It's very fun. But just bear with us on the combats, because everyone is learning a new class, and I'm running homebrew monsters. So...
Yep.
This is some homebrew shit. I mean, demigods see some monsters in their day. But, so I'm just going to resort to my fucking warrior training. Shield up, sword out. Go ahead.
I was just going to, someone said what level is everyone? I don't think we ever said 10. 10 felt good for outlaws, so I just said 10 again. Continue.
10!
I got it right this time.
Because you texted, well, you had it right beforehand. Anyway.
A great level to be when you've never done it before.
Absolutely.
That was your fault.
Shield up, sword up. When in combat, the sort of essence of Athena kind of takes over H.A.D.E.S. Eyes glow yellow. Sword has a yellow glow to it. So does the shield. So does the armor. It's just all sort of radiant, just a little bit. And I'm just going to step forward and swing at this guy with a divine strike, which is something I can just do every time, I guess. So I get to add a D8 to my damage. But first I have to hit.
Hey, Nathan? D8 of what?
Yeah. D8 of what? What a terrifying question. It is going to be, I believe it's radiant, but let me
Noted.
double check. Divine strike. It just says once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can cause the attack to deal an extra D8 damage. So I assume it's just actually just.
Oh, okay. That's. Oh, I'm sorry.
Additional
I just clicked a
damage.
button that I wasn't supposed to. Someone said
actually
Nathan's
does-
audio isn't synced. Is everyone else seeing that, or is that just a?
Flap.
If that isn't happening, if it is desynced, we can just have Nathan leave
Oh,
the
it's
call and come
desynced
back.
as fuck.
Nathan, just leave the call and come back and see if that helps. The cameras are going to get screwed for like half a second. There it is. And then he comes back. And see, look at how much better that is than Skype. Now, hopefully his audio is synced. Check that again. We gotta wait for
Is
the
it
stream.
working?
We gotta wait for the stream delay. Yeah, that was really decent.
Oh.
Nathan, don't say it and clap because I think that's
Oh, okay.
throwing people.
Well, sometimes the clap doesn't show up because of like noise reduction and shit.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay. People are saying better. I think we'll let it sink in. If it's only Nathan, we'll see. We'll move forward and see if it's.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. People are saying there we go. Okay, cool. Look at that. It resolves itself. Imagine problems resolving themselves. Anyway,
That's crazy.
continue.
But yeah, it's Divine Strike isn't radiant. I think it's just additional damage to what your weapon normally does.
Better.
Which is piercing for my short sword. So I'm gonna roll the hit first. That is an 18,
That is definitely gonna hit.
and so that's gonna be a D6 plus a D8. Ooh. Huh. Oh wow. 4 plus 6 plus 3. That is 13 damage.
13 damage.
And I believe, where are we? Like, are we in a concealed room, or is like the back of the ship opened up behind us while this is all happening? Or
I would actually the back of the ship, unless you actively closed it, which I do not remember hearing. I do not think that it is closed. No, so we'll assume that it is open. And again, we'll just assume like there's kind of there's a sort of an edge of this room, like right here. We'll assume that is this little stick here can be the ramp.
okay, because I have this thing that I can do. I don't know how shove attacks work.
I don't
In
either,
D&D.
to be honest with you.
But I would get to know them because I can do them very easily because I've taken on a feat of Shield Master.
Well, you know who does know? Mr. Google.
Give it a goog.
Don't say that again.
Give it a goog.
What did I just say? Okay. Shove action. Shoving 5e. Using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature. No more than one size larger than you. This thing is the same size.
As a Shield Master, I can do it as a bonus action on my turn.
You make an athletics contested. Okay, you make an athletics check. The opponent contests it with athletics or acrobatics, their choice. Notably,
And
you
then they
do
get
auto
shoved
succeed.
back what?
5 feet or knocked prone. You can choose.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Just stab, bonk. I got it was athletics.
Yes, you do athletics.
I got a
The
24.
Target can do athletics or acrobatics. Not going to pass it.
I think I'm going to choose to knock it prone.
Knock it prone?
And just keep it on the ground.
Describe that for me.
I know it has
just
wings.
just for cinematics, and yes, it does have wings. So I'll go and say that was the right call.
Its wings are kind of up and blocking it.
Its wings are blocking its face for the most part. Yes.
My glowing blade and my glowing shield, I pierce through the feathers, I hope, and not something else creepy.
They're kind of feather-ish. If feathers
It's
were
sort of-
made of meat. If feathers were
okay.
made of white meat.
I just stabbed through that. I don't care what it's made of. It looks like it hurts. And I kind of feel with that stab its center of mass and just bang, like full, like it comes in like an elbow because I'm wearing it on my forearm. So
Yeah.
just,
The monstrosity falls to the ground prone. And you do damage.
and that's my whole turn.
You stab it and it kind of stumbles back, losing footing, and kind of collapsing to the ground a little bit, still twitching there. And then I actually think it would be back to its turn, funny enough.
Right.
And it is prone, which means it's... I haven't DM'd in so long. What even are the rules for prone? I know
It has to use half its movement to get up.
But that's the
attacks
thing
on it
is,
have advantage.
does it have to get up?
It doesn't have to, no.
It's going to scream at you from the ground.
Great.
Make another Constitution save.
Great. Just me?
It is looking up at you. Well, actually, no, Jack too. This is an enclosed room. It's going to echo. So Theo and Jack, give me Constitution saves.
I got a 4.
A 4. Okay, that is not great.
Panda, you are muted.
I got a nat 1. So
Let's
that's not
go,
gonna be
Jack.
great.
You reach up to cover your ears and you can't find your ears and you just totally miss and take the full brunt of this. Let's see. A couple of things are gonna happen here. So here's the good news. Each of you are only gonna take 9 damage, which is not too bad.
What kind of damage?
no.
Just curious.
What would sonic damage be? Is sonic damage a thing? It would be sonic damage. I don't know what that is in 5e. If there is not 5e, I'm going to homebrew and say it is a new thing called sonic damage.
Got it. Okay.
Thunder. Yeah,
Consider
people are saying thunder, but I don't think this is not like a boom. This is like piercing. This is like high pitched piercing shriek.
Like any sound damage is considered thunder because that's why silence would make you immune to
Okay,
thunder
I'll
damage.
allow it to be thunder then.
Well, that doesn't help me at all. So
Okay.
Thanks.
So here's
Sorry.
the other thing that is notable. Both of you are now deafened, but you are not deafened in the sense of that you cannot hear anything. You have ringing in your ears. Ringing that is notably not just like, oh, I heard a loud sound, there's ringing. It sounds like something singing.
Great.
Okay, great. That's definitely not terrifying. How much damage did I take, or am I just deafened and hear singing in my brain?
9 damaged and deafened in a strange way that you do not know.
Would it be akin to like a siren in Greek mythology of like?
Okay, actually,
Is it like beautiful or is it like?
Give me a history check, and I will make a comparison for you.
15.
15? Okay, so the phrasing that I keep going back to is feedback loops. It sounds almost like it is singing. You can tell there is some level of melody to it, but there is some aspect to it that sounds almost mechanical, artificial, very otherworldly in a sense, but not like holy. Like this is the whining of some sort of signal of a machine that you do not understand and cannot fathom.
Great.
Lovely.
And then the good news here is that it is, I believe, Jack's turn again.
All right. Well, that hurt like hell. I am sufficiently far away, but now I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was 9 damage, right?
9 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone says like holding a mic to a speaker. A more sort of magical version of that, yes. That is the closest real thing I can compare it to.
All right. I'm gonna see if this works. I'm gonna cast Immolation, and you need to make a dex save of 16.
Okay.
What the fuck is
It is going to fail that.
All right. In that case, it is going to take. I'm reading all of its stats real quick. All right. It is going to take. Jesus Lord. 32 fire damage.
Hey!
Real quick. Well, no, that's fine. Yeah, you cast Immolation on this thing, and its body on the ground. Actually, I guess I forgot to say it used half its movement. It gets up. It screams and then it gets up. But you see this thing's body erupt into flames. The flames then quickly die out on the head and the wings. But the body, which originally did sort of belong to Firewheel, seems unaffected by the fire.
Damn it.
You can roll an insight check if you want to sort of figure out why that might be the case, but I don't think it would necessarily... You can probably guess.
I think I can understand
you can
it.
probably, yeah, you can probably guess what's going on here, which is that this is still, in some form, originally a fire monster.
I turned back to Jack. I'm like, I mean, come on. You don't even need to be a demigod of Athena to fucking figure that one out.
Hey, that's good information. Whatever has happened to these things, you know now that they keep some properties of their previous forms.
He turns and says that to me, and all I hear is the ringing still.
Yeah, no, nothing is heard. And okay, so now this is what's good. So, Soma, you run down here to see. I imagine the first thing would be, knowing you're probably going to see Theo first. You see Theo yelling at Jack, Jack yelling back, "What?" And then your eyes drift down a bit to between them, this writhing, flaming mass on the ground that is singing and shrieking. But again, it's not harmed by the fire, pretty clearly. Not great.
Soma sees Theo in some kind of distress and this thing he clearly has to fight, and the fates did owe me dearly, and this is a good start. He is going to draw his sword, his great sword, which is notably fucked up looking. It is a red, almost veiny looking thing. If you've ever seen or played Soul Calibur, Soul Edge, the evil sword in that, is kind of the vibe you're getting from this. And we're a barbarian, baby. The flowchart's pretty simple. We go into a rage.
Gotta love a barbarian.
He untenses a few muscles and lets himself feel every bit of anguish that Theo getting one up on him caused him before. And then we're going to use a feature called Reckless Attack. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly, giving you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during this turn, but attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn.
Interesting.
And we'll take that trade-off, because we're not the smartest guy anyway. And I think it'd be really sucky if I missed my first combat roll! And hopefully that hits. That's a 21 to hit.
21 is going to hit.
Hooray.
If 21 didn't hit on the first real combat, that'd be very bad. Technically, this isn't the first combat, but look, not to discredit Nathan, you did wrap that up real quick. It was never going to be that hard.
Hey, as long as I get my good word in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2d6 plus 3 because barbarian, and I rolled pretty well. Let me just do math again. 14 damage.
14 damage. That down.
And we get multi-attack, baby.
Are you like right beside me now because you're hitting it with a sword?
Yes, I should be. Let me move my token to reflect that.
I love seeing this. Front row.
But you don't have to hear it.
Don't have to hear it.
You can just look away.
I close my eyes.
He looks away at the monster and then closes his eyes.
Look at this. No, I watch, and I think when Soma pulls out his sword, a little twinge of like unsettledness appears in Theo's eyes because he's very familiar with that blade.
He is.
In the worst of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Next attack is normal because reckless attack is just the first attack of the turn, and that's not great. That's a 10 to hit.
10 is not going to hit.
Mike, where did
Soma
you go?
like looks back at Theo to see if there is a reaction, and he misses his other attack.
Yeah, Mike, where did you end up? I don't know where your mini went. Oh, did you put it? Did you put it? You put it in somebody else's.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
No, it's
that
good.
was
I
what it
fixed
looked
it.
like on my screen.
I fixed it. He steps
I
on
did.
Theo as he's going.
I think the only thing. Well, I'm not the DM, but fucking Mike, roll an insight if you want to see what.
Oh, I'm sure. If you want to
Sure.
do stuff, do stuff.
Oh, baby. What is my insight? That's still 17.
17.
Yeah.
It's definitely like 17's good. I think you see shock on Theo's face, like, oh, you're here, fuck. But also, I think with the 17, Theo looks at that sword with a bit of fear. I think. Yeah, I think you got that.
Certainly clocked.
Certainly clocked that. You know, he's resolving through it, but it's like stern, like bold in the eyes, like swords out. Okay, and it's right by me. Cool.
All right, next. Whoops. Sorry, I accidentally didn't open this in the right tab, so I keep clicking to a different thing. Okay, who's next on the initiative order? Lord Cringe.
Okay. All right, it's time to show them the full brunt of my abilities. Actually, a question for you, Matt. So, I know, like, seeing this thing, I can obviously tell it's an angel of some sort, but does that mean it's now lost its complete, like, undead, like, status?
You're gonna have to do a check for that. I will give you an Arcana check for that.
Okay, I'll do an Arcana check. That's 10.
So I'm gonna give you this. Technically, the things here aren't undead. So that it's you don't know specifics about this transformation that has occurred, but I will also note things down here aren't all necessarily going to be undead. But yeah, you can't really gather any information. You've never seen something like this happen before.
Okay, let's see, because this renders my entire character useless. Oh no. Oh fuck. The only thing I could try, like my version, but no, that only works on fiends and undeads, and this is very clearly, looking at this is very clearly celestial in nature.
Well, you can give. I'll let you do another. I'll let you do another Arcana check. Actually.
Yeah. I'll do another Arcana check because my character has like above average intelligence.
Yeah.
So like looking at it, it's
I'll
like,
allow
yeah,
you to do
that's
another Arcana here.
That's 13.
13. I'm gonna give you. It is pretty clear that whatever has happened to this thing, it has not been converted fully into a celestial. It is still recognized.
Okay.
Like it's again. It is the head and the wings, and everything else is the same as it was. Like it is. The contrast, I imagine, is scary of everything is normal and then there's a very abrupt shift to extremely not normal. So it can be maybe assumed that some of the previous traits of whatever this is are still present, which would include Fiend.
Okay,
I'm gonna try this. It to. You know, I'm homebrewing a little bit.
I'm gonna try this thing. This might not work. I know 2 out of one. Some of you can't hear me, but. Okay, who can hear me? Fuck.
I'm gonna note something. You don't know who can hear you. You did not see.
I don't know who can hear me.
The shriek happen.
Oh shit! We couldn't hear it from where we were.
Well, I mean, you heard the shriek, but you don't know.
That would definitely.
Yeah, you heard the shriek.
Oh,
but
okay.
I guess I should have rephrased. You know who would have been affected, but you don't know what it did.
Is he still prone?
No, he got up. He has not moved, but he did get up.
Is it right to assume that he is facing towards these 2?
Yes.
Okay, then in that case, with these 2 in front of the shrieking creature, who I assume has not stopped shrieking.
Yeah.
And the shrieking creature looking at me, I'm going to move a little bit in his line of sight. And I'm going to go into my roller backpack, pull out my keyblade, and activate it
with my channel divinity, shun the non-believers, which is just what is it? This is turn undead, something like that. I don't remember what it is for paladins. And I just raise it and I say, shun the non-believers. And any fiend and undead that can see or hear me must make a wisdom saving throw, and if it fails its save, it is turned for 1 minute. So it has to literally turn away from me and walk out that open door.
Okay. It does fail. Question on the turning. Does that trigger immediately, or is that on its next turn?
It says a turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can.
So that
it
happens.
Can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you.
Okay,
it can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use dash or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving.
But just for note, nothing happens now. Gotcha.
Correct.
In that case, if you're done, back to Theo. Still deafened. That effect is still there.
Cool. I am going to swing at this thing again. Divine Strike. Ooh. Is a 16 gonna hit?
16 will.
Cool. So then we add that D6 and that. Where is my D8? We roll damage. 9 damage total.
9 damage total.
As my bonus action, I can do the shove attack. But I can do it on any creature within 5 feet of me, so I'm going to shove Soma
great.
away from this.
Okay, you make an athletics check. Soma, I assume your athletics is higher than your acrobatics, so you will also make an athletics check.
Yes.
I got a, what is that? 23.
That's okay.
Yeah, I rolled an 8 on the die. It's a +7, so that's
even with
that's
bonuses.
still not gonna cut it.
I'm not going to knock him prone. I'm just pushing him back 5 feet.
All right.
Okay, like you're a little too close to me right now.
Boop.
So I stab this guy, shoulder check Soma. Like, I've got this, Soma. You've done enough.
Okay, so with that, before we loop back around to the monster's turn, I need everybody to make me a perception check.
Perception.
Oh no, I have such bad perception. Okay, alright, that's a 16.
16?
15.
I got a 12.
Okay, so the 16 and the 15. And what was Nathan's?
14.
14. Okay. The 16, the 15, and the 14. So everyone but Jack. Notably, you can still see like light that should not be there outside of the open ramp. But also the ship like shudders. You realize as you're fighting this thing, you can focus on the monster, but like the ship is shaking every so often.
Bad.
Interesting.
That's not good.
Yeah,
good.
the riverboat is shaking every now and then, kind of tilting back and forth. But now it is going to be the thing that is once Firewheel's turn. Now it has to use its movement to move far back, correct?
Yes, it cannot move.
That actually does change change what it was going to do. So you see this thing. It continues this sort of jerky, shuddering movement. And you see the wings almost stretch out towards you as the body starts sort of slowly shuffling backwards, as if the angelic parts are trying to reach forward, but something is preventing it from doing so as it sort of gets forced out. Now it does leave the ship, but it does... the wings are still in some level of control. And you see it, after it sort of falls down a couple feet, you see its wings flap dramatically and it forces itself back up and starts keeping pace with the ship. So it is now flying forwards. Also, notably, with the wings no longer covering the face, the body is entirely limp, just being dragged by the wings flapping as this thing floats towards you, with the full mutated head fully in view. And because this is the only thing in range, it's gonna screech again. It has other things, but
Really quick, do both me and Soma get attacks of opportunity as it leaves our
actually,
range?
yes. I guess you would. I guess you would. Go for it.
Hey.
Fuck yes. Well, I got a 9.
That's not gonna do it.
Okay.
Do opportunity attacks apply weapon bonus, or are they just flat?
It's you still get weapon bonus. Reckless, it doesn't do reckless because reckless is only your first attack on your turn.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Then that's a 17.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, that one hits.
Let's go. That will hit for 9 damage.
9 again. All right. Now, notably, this thing, I do not have the outside of the ship set up because I did not think you were going to knock it outside. It is floating outside the open ramp, keeping pace with you, just for note. Again, that's not shown on the map, but you get the idea. And then it is going to screech at you again. So everyone in there, con saves.
Great. What am I going to get deafened twice? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
I
Okay.
feel like it's stacks. Where's my?
It
character
stacks.
sheet?
Actually, yeah, the 14 is going to fail. I'm gonna give you guys a tiny little bit of metagaming here. This ability is called Echoing Chorus. So if you can kind of imagine, anyway, what were those saves? Theo, you pass. Mike or Soma fails. Lord Cringe fails.
Oh wait,
Jack,
hold on, I forgot. Everyone around me gets anyone within 10 feet of me gets a +3.
that is only Jack, I believe. But
Yeah.
That would
Okay.
only be me.
Did you pass?
What is the save?
I have not said it.
Con
Oh,
save.
con save. Yeah, duh, not the
Easy
number.
con save.
No. I thought he was asking the number. Ignore me.
Oh, okay.
That's you said. Did you pass? I'm trying to figure out what.
Roll me a con save. Roll me a con save. With the +3 from Cringe.
Perfect. Yeah, I passed. I got an 18 to the 21. I got a 21.
Okay. So the only one who is going to take that damage then is Soma.
I assume not, but this doesn't count as being charmed, correct?
This is not a charm effect, no.
Okay.
And this time, you are going to take 19 damage.
Oh.
Wait,
To be
if
fair,
it
that
fails-
was a high
Jesus.
that was a high damage roll. That was an abnormally high damage roll, but it was a thing, and that makes sense because it's focused on you as the one who just hit it. But yeah, now
And
is
then
going to
Those who make it don't take anything?
no, you're good. And then
Wait, I have a question. Is he taking 19 because he failed twice?
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this gets worse every time you are affected by, and also yeah, notably Soma,
Okay.
the singing gets louder.
Okay, because this is my first time failing. Do I take?
Oh, I
full
forgot.
19 or do I take
I'm sorry.
half of that?
I forgot that you also failed. You are going to take
Okay.
a separate thing.
Oh, okay.
Wow, the dice really are favoring Cringe over anybody else. Cringe, you are going to take a whopping 3. But you are also now affected
Right.
by the echoing chorus. So you are deafened and you hear the sort of singing sounds. As well. But then it goes back around to Jack. Again, I will remind, I've said it many times, but remember the enemy is flying behind the ship now, not on the ground, if that affects anything.
Right then.
All right.
I'm wondering if dispel magic would work on something that is very obviously angelic. Does anyone have any active effects on him right now?
Active.
Other than him technically still being on fire, no.
Other than what I caused?
Other than
No.
the buff that you gave him, no.
Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you. Let's see.
Let me filter these spells. Damage and debuff only.
This never fails. Um,
And that was the last thing he said.
First. I am going to just use magic missile on the bastard and see if that does anything.
I love Glib.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh no, Glib was
Listen,
like he's still with us.
Old
Glib
reliable.
Eldritch Blast. I don't remember
Glib
which.
was Eldritch
Okay,
Blast.
never
Just
mind.
Eldritch
Never.
Blast?
I mixed the two
I
up. They're
never
so
need-
similar.
I needed to roll to hit with Eldritch Blast. This one is just it hits.
This was just fuck you.
Fuck you. Okay. I'm gonna do it at a 4th level, so I think that gives me 4 darts. So first one is 5 damage.
Oh,
Next
right, they
one
auto-hit, okay.
is yeah. Next one is 3 damage. Next one is also 3 damage, and the last one is also nope. The last one is 4 damage.
You're
so
gonna have to
5,
give me the
4,
total,
3,
yeah.
3. Yep, that is 9, 12, 15. 15 damage.
15 damage.
'Cause
This might be a little bit surprising to people, which might also be a little bit ominous. Jack, you hold out your hand and fire these bolts at this thing. And they streak through its body, tearing it up. And you don't see the result, but you see it fall from the view of the ship with another screech that slowly fades into the distance as it drops.
Did I kill it?
What?
I would like to run up to
It's
the edge of the bay doors and look down.
So the first thing that you see, Theo, as you look down, is the corpse of the thing falling down. It seems dead. It's kind of hard to tell, especially since it's actively moving away from you, but you don't see it moving or recovering in any sense. However, once your gaze leaves that thing, you look up to see quite a sight happening outside. As you can see, other ships, a lot of other ships, none as interesting as the riverboat notably, but other ships from the agency, fighting these things in droves. And they are not doing well. Every so often as you look out, you see a ship detonate, and then from the falling wreckage of that ship, more of these beasts emerge to join the assault.
oh god, if you kill something, it turns into oh no.
Now, notably, that is behind you. You're looking out behind you as you go. But also, you can realize this is maybe why the ship is shaking. Is because you are in a fight right now. That Ronnie Ronnie did not come down to help because Ronnie has been dealing with his own battle.
Gotcha.
Oh, we got a big problem.
Lovely.
I have this. I don't know if this will work because I do have detect poison and disease. Because seeing the sheer amount of these things,
I will say
it seems like this might be a disease.
I will say, like if you're trying to do that, that spell probably has a decently short range, and there are none actively near you, and I would not try attracting them near you. But like this is an aerial battle that is going on above the city.
I would like to close the bay door.
Closing the bay doors is probably a good idea. I was wondering when someone was going to
Yeah.
say that. Yeah, Theo closes the bay door in enough time that the DM is satisfied and nothing horrible happens. So yeah, the bay doors close. Now, notably, I've said notably too many times today. When the door closes, the ringing in your ears stops.
Oh, what
I
was
can hear
that?
myself again.
That was demonic.
Oh, we can go back to the
I've dealt with demonic. That is not demonic.
kind of the opposite.
You tiny thing, do you have any frame of reference for what the hell that was?
It had celestial aspects to it. And it seems like there are many that have suddenly come down with this affliction.
Skullman, anything else?
Listen, I dealt with exorcisms and demons in above ground shit. Okay? I did not deal with the dead turning into biblically accurate versions of themselves, alright? This is not what I'm used to. I don't know what this is.
And when you say biblically, what?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure the Bible existed when you were alive.
No, that was pretty notably the Romans.
Nope.
That was
Pretty
notably
notably
the
I
Romans.
literally know nothing. I know nothing about Christianity.
Christianity was Roman.
Considerably after Greek.
That's
considerably
yes.
after the Greek time.
Nothing.
Me and Mike are
Um,
probably from around 400 BC before Christ. So
Yeah.
Ah.
The Roman Empire is in the Bible, and that's after the Greeks.
Yeah.
So that
I'm
is
sorry, I don't think about the Roman Empire nearly as much as the rest of you.
It's really funny. That trend was going around, and then we got to get back to the horror. That trend was going around as I was writing this campaign, and I was like, I'm thinking about it a lot, I guess, but that's kind of an exception.
It's completely unintentional, but
This is
Every
the
day
one
almost.
time.
I love
day
I love the,
almost, you say.
yeah.
I love the fact that Soma is looking at me in like completely serious terms and biblically accurate. What do you mean by that?
What is that? What even is?
What is that? And Jack is like, I don't have fucking time for this. I need to get out.
I don't think it's a good idea to go outside.
I would agree. I would like to go talk to Ronnie.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
So I was like, eventually you gotta leave.
Yeah, if
So
if
I
we're barking at
assume
each other
all
in
of
the
you.
back of the ship, then yeah.
I assume once you guys realize that there's more going on outside, you guys book it back up to the cockpit. Now the windshield of the riverboat is pretty large. You can see a very wide range of things out there. And you are still heading towards the Hades Agency HQ. Now this is not real time. That fight was not nearly as long, so you are not there yet. However, the first thing that you notice, Ronnie still at the controls, like moving the oars around, clearly dodging attacks, firing back. Like he does not respond to your coming up, but he is clearly zoned in, and it is obvious from his demeanor and actions. Anyone who was doubting him saying he was the best pilot probably is not doubting it anymore.
Yeah.
But that is not
Got
the
it.
focal point of anything that you are seeing right now, because what you most notably see, I would say, is the agency in front of you. Because you actually get up at a very fortuitous time. The light above the agency, coming down from the heavens where there once was nothing but an infinite abyss, has grown notably stronger. And there's a large, almost spotlight-like a beam directly above the agency that glows brighter and brighter and brighter until you cannot see the agency anymore within its light. And with a chorus of screams you can hear from inside the ship far away, you watch as the entire massive tower that was the Hades Agency HQ is obliterated. The whole massive spire reduced to ashes and rubble in seconds. If anyone looks carefully at Ronnie's readouts, you can see what seems to be some sort of battlefield map with indicators. Those indicators are rapidly going dark and blinking out just constantly as fewer and fewer agents seem to remain. And above the rubble that is the now destroyed agency, a figure descends. Now this figure seems to not be facing you at first, as it looks relatively normal. You see what seems from a distance to be a cloak on this gigantic, several stories tall form, and strangely normal, almost beautiful blonde hair, as the singing gets louder on its descent.
Can I make a religion check? Or
You don't, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say,
Jesus?
you don't need to make a religion check here. Because after a moment, after presumably observing its handiwork, without moving a muscle in any sense, this being just kind of translates and turns around perfectly fluidly, revealing a front that is far less normal than the facade that you first saw.
Oh,
whoa.
Jesus.
that is some literal Final Fantasy shit. Wow.
The galaxy in the cave.
Yeah. So, this being looks over the rapidly dwindling ranks of what is left of the Hades agency. As Ronnie desperately tries to avoid the increasing hordes of monsters before eventually, again, not even noticing your presence, turning the ship around and leaving.
Yeah.
Which, probably a good call, but also when the best pilot is leaving, that's very bad. And as the riverboat retreats, you hear for a brief moment the chorus around you from every angle condense into a single sentence from this monstrosity that has descended before you. As it says in a piercing, whining, difficult to understand, but still able to parse chorus of voices, the being speaks and says, "Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess." And I think that's where we're gonna end Agents of Hades, Episode 1. The agency has fallen. Seems you are the last remaining left. And the horrors, ladies and gentlemen, have only just begun. I told you guys I was doing horror, and I came to play.
You did. You very much did.
Yeah, baby. So what do you guys think?
This was pitched as superheroes in hell. You didn't tell
It
us
is
how
superheroes in
to be
hell.
blown up.
It is superheroes in hell. You guys stopped the supervillain
in hell to
today.
like, congratulations. You're
Look,
fighting off.
I will tell you
You're
this.
fighting angels.
The plot of
Welcome to
this.
Avengers movie, Avengers Tower, and all the Avengers in it have been nuked.
Hey, Mike,
By
that was
God.
what I was about to say. Was an elevator pitch for this is if you know the scene in the Avengers movies where Thanos nukes Avengers HQ from orbit, the pitch for this is what if we started with that?
What if that was the beginning?
What if we started with that? So yeah, 2 more episodes, and
You
there's
can't
so much
call
more.
the series Agent of Hades and then blow up the building in episode 1.
A fun
Did
little
we
fact
actually
about
become
this.
agents?
A fun little fact
We
about
didn't
this.
even get hired.
This is a very minor little detail, but one that I
And
like.
we would have hero names.
If you notice, in the Agents of Hades logo, which I'll actually, this will cut audio, but well, it won't bother. You guys can see it on the screen. Agents of has been scribbled over the official icon in the same font that the ferryman is on Ronnie's art card. And if you look really carefully, the O is an X'd out angel head. That was
Come on,
was
man.
drawn on. Yeah. I was foreshadowing this from the start.
X'd out angel.
Yeah, there's the skull and there's the halo and it's X'd out. And that's the logo I've been using for everything.
I saw the skull and the angel head, and I was just like, oh yes, this was like the aesthetic of like 2012, where
Nope.
everything was a skull and angel.
No, it's intentional.
My lord.
It's intentional. Anyway, what announcements do we have to do? Anyone got anything before I got a big
Only
list.
able to
so-
do these production increases due to your support from the Patreon.
And if you want to see a shit ton of concept art for this fucking thing, go sub to the Patreon. I'll post it at some point next week. There's
Not to mention
so many designs for Uriel that we did not use. Oh my god.
Not to mention that after every single stream, we stick around for 20 minutes to an hour and talk about
do.
usually the episode, sometimes other things.
I think it'll probably be the episode today. I think I've given us enough to talk about.
And
I hope.
and that is something you can only get on the Patreon for just $5 a month.
For just $5 a month. Also, early access to episodes. You might have said that while I was reading something. I don't know. But episodes, and this will be a nice little segue. Episodes drop on our YouTube, Spotify, other podcasting platforms every Wednesday. But if you sub to our Patreon, you can get them on Sunday. Sunday, right? It's Sunday? I think it's Sunday. Okay, you can get them on Sundays. And then episode 2 out of 3 of Agents of Hades, same time next week, Friday, October 20th, 6 p.m. Central Time. We should have more art for you. I don't exactly know what the schedule on that's going to be, but we should have more stuff for you. So, lots of fun things to see. Merch drop, I guess I should go over that really quick. Oh, well, one thing. Artist. Go check out our artist. Her name's Skizzo. She's great. I have put links to her stuff in the chat that is going to be rolling through there. and a lot more from her coming soon. Merch. This is the last week to get a lot of the Symmetry Saga merch. We're going to leave some of the most popular things there, but to keep our merch store from getting cluttered, we are going to go through and sort of sunset a lot of that next Friday. That is going to coincide with the first Agents of Hades merch drop. So if you want to have pictures of this horrible stuff on your body, you can pay us money, and we will facilitate that for you. Let me check my announcements page here and make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, yeah. Check out our theme song, The Saint and the Sinner by AViVA, which we will play at the beginning of every episode. Also, you guys know why I picked that now. I picked it for a reason. You guys now understand the reasoning that I picked that with. Anyway, I do believe that is the last announcement that we have. We have a new end card, which you guys will see in a second. It's nothing super fancy, but anyway,
We have an end card?
we have an end card. Yeah, so you guys, I didn't show you guys, so if you guys are watching the stream, watch it for a second. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and are also a little bit terrified. We will see you next week for episode 2. Bye, everybody.
Yeah!
Goodbye.